All good, dude. I'm just
Uh,
gonna fire it up though.
yeah.
Launch that there.
I think we're both on the same page.
Probably.
You you know what I'm saying? Like just big. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, same page tonight. It's Monday, man. So over here we've got some in here, and welcome everybody else hopping in the chat. We call it Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. What do you guys call this day?
We call it day after Christmas. We call it December 6th. So typically the way it works here in the States, at least it is, a lot of companies get at minimum like 4 paid holidays, right? You got like New Year's Day, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, and Christmas Day. Christmas Day this year happens to fall on a Sunday, so it's being observed on Monday, which is today. And then the same thing will happen next week with New Year's Day. We'll have Monday off again next week. So that's why I'm going back to work on Tuesday, the 3rd, rather than Monday. So anyways, that's how it goes there. So that's what Boxing Day is, huh?
Well, so actually you and I kind of talked about this previously. Boxing Day ends up being the day after. We didn't have Black Friday back in the day. So we would basically have like our big Black Friday deals on Boxing Day. Because the idea, this is how classist our society really is, if you think about it. If you're going to give all the government employees the day off, they've got to go somewhere and do something. So of course, all the retail workers go back to work on Boxing Day and run the sales. Brett, your general purpose, you're absolutely correct, man. You know, what's funny is that you guys may believe, it's almost like a newscast thing. You think that you're catching the tail end of our private conversation. We both hopped in like fucking seconds before today and basically said, sorry, I think you're on the same page. Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the private conversation. AKA, hey, are you fucking somehow always running late for these, even though they're the same time all the time?
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'll have plenty of time, no problem. I'm off, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, that last hour, dude, is like goes hyperspeed.
That absolutely it. You know, skilled one. What is going on? Happy holidays, dude. I did end up seeing that there. Pocket Salsa, the Wendigo. What is going on? Pocket Salsa, congratulations, though. And the Wendigo, too. You guys are like two, like, I don't want to say new chaps, but, you know, some fresh blood on this Hanukkah metal show. And you guys both crushed it. Wendigo, congratulations on that sale. I'm sure others of you have as well, but that thing flew.
Who did you say now?
The Wendigo piece sold like instant. Straight 7, man. Those were beautiful as well.
Yes, Strafe in the house. Another sellout. Not a sellout. I'm saying he sold out. As far as pieces, Wendigo, another one, dude. That one went super fast. I looked at the Wendigo one, and I'm like, oh shit, dude. And as I'm like breaking this thing down, looking at it, I go to refresh, and bam, it's gone. Which is cool. Strafe was like what, a run of 10, and those are all gone.
Yeah. I like the chase variants in that one. We'll take a look at them in a second.
Yeah.
And actually tonight's gonna be interesting. We've got Resin Blood Eddie coming and joining us here tonight, which we were both laughing about it. And I hope, you know, there he is right there. We gotta pull it, we gotta joke with them about it, because we were both like, what do you mean Resin Blood's coming in? What we understand he's a fucking legend, but what do we just want to hang out with Eddie and talk about the show with Eddie? Is that what it is?
Is Drew in the show? Is Drew in the waiting room?
There we go. See, I can never tell.
There he is. It's Drew. I know.
There we go. You know what's up. Drew, what's going on, dude? Man, the hair today. I'm so jelly.
I let it down just for tonight. I did just a second ago. I let it down. I went like this, and I say, "Yeah, I think it's right. I think it's right for the night."
I would never typically ask this, and you might have even mentioned the last time we had you on. Drew, are you Jewish? Are you Hebrew?
I'm Jewish. Yeah, my mom's Jewish. My dad's Greek Catholic. They kind of like canceled out a little bit in regards to like a childhood. Like my mom was not about the Greek Catholic stuff, and my dad kind of rolled with it. We basically just kind of did Christmas and Hanukkah and never really got too deep into it. So there was never any like major arguments. Got one very Jewish granddad and one very Greek Catholic grandma, and bit of a conflict of interest. Yeah, I would definitely identify myself as a nice Jewish boy, though.
I think the real conflict of interest is how much you look like the Westerner Jesus right now.
Yeah, it's all over. Yeah, that's what most people are like. You don't look like a Jew, and I'm like, well, we don't know. You know, oddly enough, my dad's side of the family, the Greek Catholic side, they're all like dark and Mediterranean. The funny part about my Jewish side is that they're from Kentucky and they're like pale white, blonde. It's very strange. My Jewish grandma just has this thick Southern accent, like a Southern belle. It's very like backwards. I think my Jewish features must have gotten lost somewhere in the mix, for better or worse. But yeah, when I was growing up, I definitely was like a bit of a, you know, you get jokes in school and stuff like that. And I was a little bit out of shape about it. But as an adult, I very much so embrace the Jewish side of myself. I find a lot of humor in it, mostly because I don't think people would expect it.
Fair enough.
Got one of these little guys with wrong side. Yeah, when all the neo-Nazis started hitting the news, I felt really bad for my grandparents, and I got a little high tattooed on me. My granddad used to wear one of these, but he used to like tuck it in. Like he used to wear his chain in his shirt. And I never really knew why. And then as an adult, I was like, he had to like hide who he was. And I remember having a talk with my daughter about it. And I was like, you and me are never hiding who we are. We are who we are, and we're proud. And anybody that doesn't like it can eat a bullet.
There you go, man. Well, you know, I would say that if anything, like you've brought together some crazy talented artists over this time period of the holiday season, over the Hanukkah season. I would say that's a pretty beautiful way of kind of showing some respect and showing that you're proud of that part of your heritage as well, man.
Yeah, dude, I didn't. I mean, I think I may have mentioned it on a prior show, but this was like very much so on a whim. And I was just telling my girl, I was like, this is the coolest Hanukkah I've ever had, for sure. Like, what a gift to every day of Hanukkah see these incredible bangers after bangers after bangers dropped over and over in the name of heavy metal Hanukkah. Just something that I was like, that'd be cool. I don't even think it was me. I think it was my coworker Raul. It was like heavy metal Hanukkah. And I was like, that's it. That's fucking awesome. And that's the kind of stuff that I do embrace about my Jewish side. I'm like, I can do that. That's hilarious because I'm a Jew and I should put on a heavy metal Hanukkah show. But yeah, dude, I just thought this was going to be like a little thing for fun, and it blossomed into like, in my opinion, like arguably one of the coolest online shows of the year. I mean, I couldn't believe the response I got from the artists. I couldn't believe I could believe the response I got from the scene and from fans, just because people were dropping toys and I was just like, oh my God, like it makes sense that this dude would drop such a heater, but like, oh my God, this dude dropped it in the name of heavy metal Hanukkah. And it's very surreal. I mean, I've been doing this for a little while, but I got dudes in this show that have been doing this, like 6 times as long as me. I got dudes in this show that have been doing this for 16 years. And it's very surreal to see that they did make something in the name of something that I curated. Like, surreal would be the best way to put it. Like, I can't believe you did that because it was my idea to throw this thing together. Not to at all take credit for the talent that these dudes pump out of their brains and their hands, but like, oh my God, it really is. It's like, what a treat, you know? It was very, very awesome.
Dude, if anything, like all the work was fantastic, but even considering how many of the artists were afraid they wouldn't have time, and then like you said, like some of the pieces that came out were absolutely monolithic. Like they were
Yes.
all great. All the pieces were absolutely great, but some of those pieces was hard not to believe. Like, wait, that wasn't a drop or something. Like you were just cooking that for
Yeah.
this. You know?
Sorry, I ordered pizza.
That's what's up, man. Toys and pizza.
You need the pin?
Yeah.
It's 5707.
Wake up with that
Oh,
pending.
now we've
Thank you.
all got it. Now we're all gonna be ordering pizza on Drew.
5010.
Yes, sir.
5
What's up, man?
Did I? Babe, did you? It's
Only on Toys
5707.
Oh, 50. 50.
57.
5 7.
5707.
Okay, hold on. 5 7.
I love this shit.
Yep. Thank you very much. Totally forgot I got food.
That's what's up.
Good. That was a
Oh,
pretty
man.
simple task. I know there was a language barrier there. 400. Shouldn't have been that hard. You hear that?
That's my number one thing I say a day. That shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah, no.
You can
not
take that however you'd like.
I live in a weird area. Half the people that I have come here to deliver food give up and leave. And I'm just like, I understand. It's a weird neighborhood. It's hard to get here. But like, if that's your job, I just feel like you get better at navigating through those situations. I could go on and on about that. I won't do that on this show. But yeah, dude, very, very disappointing when your girl's very pregnant and like needs to eat. And they're just like, fuck it, going home.
Porpoise has mentioned like he ended up diving deep into things for this one. Porpoise, I don't know if you actually listened to Meshuggah at all, but that caught me way off guard. I wasn't expecting Porpoise to drop the Meshuggah pieces at all whatsoever. I think that was also, I've got to give credit to all the artists in this show, man. No disrespect to anybody and their musical tastes, but let's face it, usually when you hear heavy metal, you're going to see a lot of Led Zeppelin, a lot of Pink Floyd, a lot of stuff that, in my opinion, just isn't quite as heavy as I'd like. It was pretty dope to see some legitimate metal artists being represented in this show.
Very, very awesome choices of certain bands to commemorate, and even ones that weren't directed towards a band, just like the theme. Like my buddy Creature Maker, he all credit to that dude as far as me getting anywhere that I am. I've been following that dude since I started making toys. He took a liking to boogers, got two, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have so easily gotten into making vinyl. And he just put out this Nun, like just this brutal black metal, bloody, disgusting inverted crucifix. And that's the kind of stuff that I was hoping for. I kept a very open mind, and I made it real clear when I started this show that like I wanted everyone to have fun. Someone had mentioned, like is death metal pushing it? Am I gonna like get like booted if I do death metal? Obviously, he's joking around, but I'm like, dude, no way. Like, I want everybody to have as much fun with this as possible. I think I may have even said something along the lines of like, look, you could take the word metal, make like whatever metal means to you. Like you could cast a Godzilla and paint it chrome, and we could just play off the word metal, and I'll think it's sick and still love that it's in the show. But people took this stuff in such awesome directions. I just saw right before we started, I've been a little caught up. Yeah, I felt bad this last day. I was kind of not in communication with the artists as much. My girl's very pregnant. Unfortunately, just got COVID. So everything's cool right now. Doctor says just keep drinking water, whatever. So that's all right. But anyway, I've been busy. But I just saw Hurt Toys, I believe. Or no. Lord Sphincter her TOYZ piece was fucking epic too. But yeah, Lord Sphincter made a Hellhammer piece, and I love Hellhammer, and I love the album artwork of Hellhammer. It's and he just like basically recreated an album cover. They have this one album cover, and it's just like your classic like pre-black metal font Hellhammer, black border, white square in the middle with this weird demon. And he basically just made the album cover with the figure is the demon, like almost like the 3D version of the cover. And I was just like, dude, just like beautiful work. Everybody in this show wowed me to death, and I really couldn't be more grateful for how, yeah, dude, on such short notice, some of these dudes just whipped it out. It was really incredible to me. Love that Hellhammer piece. Love everybody's piece, but that was like the last one I saw right before I got on the line with you guys. It was very fresh in my mind.
That's fair, man. That's fair. I'm sure it's been a very long week for you. B, you're being quiet over there. Speak.
Oh, I'm just listening. I know that Drew's kind of hitting on all the points that I was going to ask him about. Number one, his piece. We heard about that. Number two, well, actually, probably first and foremost was Eddie hit me up before the show and said that Drew may not be joining us because his baby might be due. So congratulations.
It was a close call.
Yeah, that's what he said. So honestly, wasn't sure if we were going to see Drew or not tonight, but here he is. Very cool, man. I did see that you posted, you made a variant of your piece, which sold right away. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I'm just saying, go ahead.
I was posting it, and it sold as I was posting it, to be honest. And I was like, that's cool. I wanted to give somebody the opportunity. Yeah, somebody must have just been fishing around on my page. But yeah, I wanted to drop a last-minute one-off.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah, that was cool. And, honestly, it was really fun. This is a fun toy I made. It was just a little quick on the fly thing. But if I'm being totally honest here, when I was watching what everybody else dropped, I'm like, oh, Drew, you should have done more, man. You should have done something bigger and better. I like the toy. It's just like with this particular theme that I'm so very much into and what everybody else did, I'm like, damn, Drew, you should have stepped your game up. These dudes fucking crushed you. But yeah, nah, I enjoyed the piece a lot. I like the idea of I've always wanted to make a piece in regards to like the early Norway church burnings. And I just found this it was Uzama. Yeah, the Uzama, like these guys. How do you flip it around? I don't know if you guys know the story behind these. Like, there's some kind of argument that this dude that made these toys was bootlegging before Sucklord. But a lot of people don't like to open them because they're old. And I had one with like it's cool. They're based off of, I believe, Canadian folklore.
Yeah, he's from Winnipeg. If anything, when I saw that fucking head, I thought that's who it was. And I was like, no, why would Drew have that? That's not going to be that.
That's exactly what it was. I ripped off the tree man head. And I was like, I could probably do like a wooden man. And then I was like, oh, Norwegian church burner, dude. Yeah, I love the concept. It's a cool, mean looking toy.
I don't know if Dove knows, those pieces on eBay have gone up a lot, and he still hasn't shown in his store for dirt cheap.
Yeah, I see it range. There's one that I don't have, and the only place I know where to get one, they're sold in a set that I just don't want to buy. I don't want two of every figure that I'm not going to hang them all up. But yeah, I see them I see them priced very differently place to place. Some places I see them real cheap. Some places upsell them real hard. In my opinion, for what they are and the history behind them and how old they are, I think it's very fair for them to be marked up. But yeah, you can get lucky and find them a little cheaper.
They're fun, man. They're fun pieces.
Yeah, I never opened one up honestly, I'm glad I got the opportunity to open one up because they come with these booklets of this really cool, creepy, like occultish art. Like it's a very interestingly put together toy. You open it, and there's more in there, but you gotta rip the thing open. I'm not always a fan of ripping over open card backs. So like keeping card backs on the card. Love it when people put the little stickies on there. Like I know Eddie does it with a lot of his toys, the little Velcros. That's right up my alley. I think we touched on that with some of my stuff. As long as the bag and the size of the toy permits, I always like to give people the option to keep their card backs or their header cards intact.
I think almost all of us keep our headers intact.
I have a big bin in my closet just full of every Sofubi header. It's always the header artwork for me is always such a big part of the toy. I've always found it very like ironic and funny, especially when someone makes a very like simple piece of art or Sofubi or resin figure, but the header card is just like blown away with detail. Like, I don't know, something about it. I love that in particular. Simple toy, crazy header card. Love that.
Hey, real quick, talking about your the show. I saw that you kind of made an announcement that it is going to be coming back next year, hopefully, right?
Yeah, man. Unless some kind of weird wrench gets thrown in it, I don't see why it wouldn't. I was on Red King Live with Scott and his brother Adam, and even prior to that, I was having a conversation with someone, and I was like, I bet this could be a thing every year, maybe. And when I was on Red King Live with them, Scott was like, needless to say, this will happen again next year. And I was like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. Heavy Metal Hanukkah 2023. Definitely something I want to shoot for. I feel like on such a whim, we got a lot accomplished here, and it was really fun to make a toy, make promo videos, set the schedule. Really, I'm sure it was really fun and probably semi-stressful for some of the artists to whip stuff up so fast. But I was thinking, I was like, with 2.5, 3 weeks that all these guys were granted to make these pieces, imagine if Heavy Metal Hanukkah was something that we prepared for 2 months early. We had a whole year to think about it. It could be potentially a lot crazier. And I'd love that. There was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do in a more timely manner. And if I'm also being totally transparent, I guess, and I don't like to be like, oh, it's because of this and this and this, but I've had stuff going on in my life that's kind of prevented me from, I've had a lot of impromptu problems to solve in the past couple weeks, at least. Nothing crazy, just, necessary. But I want to and am going to do a giveaway with a handful of the artists like we talked about. But I wanted to have more to talk about with that tonight. It's more than likely something that I'll have a more official, detailed announcement about tomorrow. But yeah, even just with that in mind, having more time and having this organized start to finish before it begins is something that Heavy Metal Hanukkah 2023 will definitely encompass more so of. You'll know the details and the winnings and the artists, and it'll be a little bit more organized. But I will say, with everything, and the timeline we were working with, I'm very happy that things turned out the way they did. Everything flowed really smoothly.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing who you'll get for next year's lineup for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping all the same dudes and more. I'd like everyone that participated this year to do it again, and hopefully they can. And I'd like to think there was even a handful of dudes that just had some stuff that came up that couldn't do it, but I'd love to see those dudes in the show next year. It'll be if it's anything like this year, it'll be dope, and hopefully even just a little bit doper.
With the format that you have, I think next year will be even better, right? I think the guys that kind of went towards the end of the show this year have a little bit of advantage for just what you said. You said that you let your piece come out and then kind of saw what everybody else did, and you're just like, man, I should have came a little harder on your stuff. I think yours was great. I think that's probably the sentiment of some of the guys who are that back end, right? I mean, 8 days in a piece like this with that much notice, I mean, that makes an incredible amount of difference. But next year, now everybody kind of knows the guidelines and what you're talking about as heavy metal goes, and I don't know, dude. I think it'll be even better this next year. This year there were some just freaking insane pieces out there, man. That day one, you Sycamore and Barbarian Rage, correct?
Yes.
Thick pieces all around, dude.
Resin Blood Piper.
Yeah, I was stoked. I was stoked to have Sicky Meal in there. I never really did too much talking to that dude.
Yeah.
But I've always been like really wowed by him and the things that he manages to do with resin. Half the time I'm looking at it, I'm like, this can't all be resin. And it's just, yeah, he's very impressive. But yeah, very cool, very quick on it. It was definitely an honor to have him and Scott, Barbarian Rage, on day one. That was very cool. Really loved Scott's concept too with the couch. I thought it was very humorous that he chose the couch as the format to lay that particular art on. The fact that he mixed, the name of the dude is escaping me, who designed that album artwork that he based that couch off of. But the way he mixed his stuff in so perfectly with that dude's art. And and he even mentioned just like he was coming down to the wire. He like right before he even released his piece, he like just finished working on it. And I think he still had to like lay some clear coat down on it or some varnish. But yeah, dude, it just crushed it. And it's a good point. It's like, some of these dudes did not have as much time. And that's another thing I wanted to be receptive to for sure. That I inquired in the big group chat I put together, like anybody that feels like they might need more time or wants this day or that day, like if anything needs to be moved around. And we did a little moving around. I wanted everybody to feel comfortable and not rushed, or as not rushed as possible. So it was cool. Some dudes came forward and were just like, I'll be ready for this. Some dudes were like, I might not be. You think we can do this or that? And it was really easy to, I'm a very disorganized person in all reality, but it was it was honestly real fun and easy to curate this whole thing and work with everybody. And everyone was so receptive and open to working with me. It gave me a really cool perspective on these guys. And another reason I love doing stuff like this, or just joining a show or whatever it may be, is because you get to learn more about the artists that you're working with, and you share some new laughs and learn some new things. And these dudes were all just so cool. It was such a pleasure this month, and especially this past 8 days, to be sharing space, so to speak, with some guys that I know very well. Me and Ed have been friends for, I guess like 12 or 13 years now. And then there's dudes on the other side of the world that I didn't know Sicky Meal was in Spain. Like, it was so cool to just get in touch with these dudes. That's something I love the most about this community, is like, you almost have these instant friends when you do this stuff. It's like you share such an incredibly common interest and passion that it's such a pleasure to get to know everybody involved on a different level. And now the show's over, and I'm stoked. I'm stoked to have these dudes know a little bit more about me, know a little bit more about them, and just, it's an honor. I'm very grateful for what they've done for this and done for me. And I'm really stoked that we all shared a common interest of, let's just make sick, fun pieces, have fun with it. We all pump them out. And that's something, I'm sorry, mouth got very dry. That's something we discussed a little bit. I said the only other thing I'd really like to encourage here, I said by no means is it mandatory, but I'd really like it if we all shared each other's artwork. I feel like we all obviously have a similar fan base and different fan bases and followers. And I'd like everybody to get the opportunity to share someone else's art with their following. And everyone was really excited to boost everybody else's stuff out there. And yeah, it's a fun part about these shows. I mean, why do you do an art show anyway? To to showcase your stuff. You want new eyes on it. And everybody was really excited to help other artists get new eyes on their stuff. And I have some dudes in the show that are newer to the scene and dudes that I see a lot of promise in personally. And it was really exciting for me to know that they were going to, they were going to gain from this. They were going to have their stuff pumped out, the stuff that I saw promise in. I like the idea that we created an opportunity, collectively to put more eyes on some of the newer dudes that do great work.
Yeah. Agreed, man. You were talking about Sicky Bill. I just checked his account. He's like at 0.6 thousand followers, and you got someone like at Salsa who's just at like 375 in that range, dude. So what a wide landscape of artists to have in there. And plus on that, on that format, it's a good one, man. It's crazy, dude. We are dude, we're gonna start looking at some of these pieces, dude. We're gonna start going quick, man.
Resin Blood's actually chilling there in the waiting room as well. If you guys want, we can pull him in and then also do a share screen here in a second, and we'll get the inside scoop you guys can maybe give us on some of the pieces here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I was talking to Eddie. I was hoping he was going to jump in here. He was about to take over for me. I hit him up and I was like, he's like, you want me to do it for you? I was like, if you can't, I was like, yeah, you might have to, maybe. I don't know. Luckily, it came down to the wire for me. Literally at 8:54 my time is when we got off the call with the on-call doctor. So I was literally just minutes away from either you got to go to the hospital now or you're cool, just drink a lot of water. So I almost bailed on you guys like 5 minutes too. Glad I didn't have to. I know you'd have understood under circumstance, but I'm glad things worked out the way that they did.
Resin Blood, dude, you guys are both just looking so fresh tonight, man. How are you?
I can't see Eddie yet.
No?
But I'm going to take your word for it that he's got style.
Got a ballin' scarf on right now. All the fucking earbuds.
They're giving you problems. That was
What's
funny.
up, Ed?
I like
Oh, it says connected audio. At least on my end, it does.
He's joining the party.
Yeah, normally when I drink, it takes a second to get the audio to work.
Probably the most annoying part, man. Because I think almost every time it asks you if you want to join with computer audio. So even that ends up being a little bit of a lag time.
Weird that it happens on the phone. I do it on my phone and it's like join with audio. It's like, no, I'd rather just join with no audio iPhone. Very strange that it asks that question. I don't know.
I don't know if Ed's frozen or what, man. You want to start going through these, Crumsy?
Yeah, I'll share screen here. We'll pull them up. Where are we hiding now?
Ed, are you frozen? I think he's frozen.
It looks like he's in here.
Oh, he popped in. He popped in for sure. So this is the one you were talking about just a moment ago, though. You ended up recasting and all glow in the dark, or did you end up painting this guy up?
I just did an ink rub on him. He's just a solid static UV figure. It's cool. I could show you real quick what I guess my screen's not up right now, but when we bounce off of it, I could show you what it looks like. That's just it under a black light. But the piece itself is very almost like clear and dark. Like you kind of can barely even tell it's green. And then you hit it under a black light and it glows real hard. The eyes all have UV reactive paint, very, very small eyes, but the eyes beam a little bit harder than the figure itself. Which on that particular piece you can kind of see, but I really enjoy it on the darker ones that look more like a bronzy wood color. It's like when you put those under a UV light, the eyes just look super menacing and ghostly and evil. Excuse me. That was fun. Yeah, really. I enjoyed making those toys a lot. It's really fun. I love making the 3.75s. It's pretty simple bash. It's just that and this one of the many Super 7 Iron Maiden Eddie figures. And I just I was looking at the body and I was looking at the arms, and in that particular figure, it was kind of all like zombie-ish and wrinkly, and it kind of almost went with that Uzama head. And I was like, you know, in one solid piece of resin, this might make a lot of sense. I thought throwing the matches in there. Those matches are also UV reactive. They on the UV reactive piece, I painted the match tips so they would also glow if they were being displayed on a wall with a UV light. The matches would glow along with the figure.
Hell yeah!
And they got this little ceremonial bone staff. I gave it a little bit of a bio. A little bit of a historical bio, a little bit of fiction, a little bit of folklore, but that's something I really enjoy about early black metal is that, you know, a lot of bad shit happened, but the lore, like the mysterious part is that some of the dudes offed themselves, some of the dudes killed each other. So there's only a handful of people, and they're fairly shitty people that can account for these things that happen. So there's a lot of he says, she says, but you don't really know exactly what happened. And that's something that I really enjoy about the early black metal scene is there's just things that you'll never quite know the truth about. So I kind of made the bio and the story reminiscent of that mystery. He says, she says, but you don't really know exactly what happened. And that's
I think I'm in now.
Yeah, you're in. Look at
That's a cool hoodie.
if Grumsy, if you got that pulled up.
Yeah. So if anything, if Resonant Blood, I'm gonna.
How you doing?
Are we both doing Dark Throne shirts tonight?
Oh shit, we are.
Because this
That's
guy
all
here,
right.
I saw this guy here post later on this afternoon as well.
Yep.
This little bundle.
I love it. I love the cutout dead card back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, did you guys? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, once I wanted to do a cutout as soon as I saw Pendragon, so I was like, damn, dude. I mean, the amount of toys in the show. This morning I saw 6 Foot Turkey's toy. I was like, damn, dude, that thing is beautiful.
Yeah, dude, immaculate.
No one missed this show. Yeah, but at the same time, Resin Blood, dude, I love this guy here. Like,
thank you.
I know you posted a bunch of them the other day. But there's something about, is that guy a clear cast?
Yeah, no, it's white. I used white and black.
Shit, yeah.
It's awesome. It's almost like alien corpse paint.
Yeah, and it's not paint, it's resin. I put
Oh,
black in
really?
there.
So the black's not paint.
Right.
Awesome.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a killer cast.
Yeah, that definitely is that, especially with the black and the white. That's clean, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually made it like a week ago, and I wanted to post it, but but thank you. How was everybody's Christmas? I'm sorry, I was having trouble getting in.
Oh, all good, man. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for asking, man. How was yours?
Good, real good, very good. Just a very chill.
Kind of just the way I wanted it to be. It was very chill. Woke up super late. Me and my girl didn't even wish each other a happy Christmas. We just went and got ramen and chilled out, gave each other some toys. Yeah, me and my girl both, without telling each other, got each other like designer toys. So now we got a little Christmas designer toy shelf.
Yeah, my girl got me this sweatshirt from Europe. It's nice too. It has like a nicer zipper. And I got this shirt too for Christmas.
Killer.
It's a very, very black metal Christmas, you know.
Yeah. Very
I've had a few of them.
Like all the kids coming back from Christmas break or something, showing off the new sweater, talking about the new toys.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Dude, my girl got me an original Storm Shadow for Christmas.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
pretty expensive, but it was a nice surprise.
That's dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got lucky this Christmas. Our girlfriends got us cool toys that we wanted. Funny story. I went into Guzzi Gallery, that art store I was talking about, and I was like, oh no. I was like, did you guys sell that Alex Pardee toy? Yeah, I was gonna buy this, but I was like, Drew, you don't need to buy toys right now. And anyway, I walked back in. I was like, I'm gonna buy it. Went back a couple days later, and the owner was like, oh yeah, it's sold. I was like, you said you had a couple left though, right? And he wouldn't look at me in the eyes, and he was like, no, we don't. And I almost wanted to be like, did my girl? And I was like, don't. I was like, don't do it, Drew. Don't ruin the surprise. But yeah, I had an inclination that my girl might have got it for me. So yeah, when we exchanged gifts, I was like, yes, you did it. You fucking got the thing that sold out.
That's so funny.
Nice.
And the dude's telling you he's out of them.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was heartwarming that she did that for me. I'm glad Vince. And you know, the funny thing is the owner did. He had 2 more in the back and he didn't even put them out because he knows I'm in there so much that I'd have seen it again and I may have bought myself one. So yeah, they corroborated on a good surprise for me. He sacrificed the chance to sell a couple more toys just so that I could get surprised.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, who's next, Crumsy? Who's next on the list?
Yeah. Let's take a look at. Should be Barbarian Rage. No, it was cool. You guys actually ended up sitting on a live that first night of the Hanukkah drop. You, Barbarian Rage. Well, both of you, Barbarian Rage. Did Sycamore end up joining you guys that night?
No, he didn't. I think Epoxy Crusader went live a couple nights. He did something funny. He lit a menorah with sparklers in it. I thought that was pretty funny.
I thought those were sparklers when I saw that piece.
Yeah, that was a good one. Man, I love what Scott did there.
Me too.
It was a good idea.
And let me tell you, that guy, you know, he's a good friend of mine and he doesn't play around and he doesn't put out junk. I mean, he will not let it go until it's right. And it's awesome.
Yeah, dope piece.
I mean,
I
seriously,
respect his ethic with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
see his style for sure.
Yes. And you know what the one thing is? It's like, you know, there's people painting toys and all, but I feel like for all the stuff that he does, his sculpting is phenomenal and everything. But like, yeah, he takes the painting to another level, especially with those big He-Mans and stuff.
Yeah. I agree, man.
Mind blowing. That big blue He-Man really wowed me, and to learn that he sculpted it, I was like, oh my god,
yeah,
dude goes all out.
Definitely one of the best for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And I mean, like you said, Ed, the paint on the giant men are insane.
Yes.
And then on the other, dude, I own is a double ass man. You know what I mean? And there's 0 paint on that thing.
And the hand sculpted backers that have been
oh my god,
like
oh my, yo, he gave me one of them and I painted it and we sold it at 5 points. It went right away. I mean, they are amazing.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen anyone do something like that, dude. The Wendigo on this one blew me away. I was so stoked. What a fucking piece. I believe the flame is magnetically articulated on there.
Yep.
It's got extra pieces. What a piece.
And especially for somebody that, in my opinion, like they kind of came out of nowhere a little bit this past like summer.
Yeah, I wasn't super familiar with his work. We shared a booth at Decon, or we shared space there. He had his stuff there, I had some of my stuff there. And that was probably my first like real look at some of his stuff. And I was like, wow. And then he made this and I was like, wow, holy shit.
Dude, that purple glow on the white body. What the fuck?
Yeah, right? It's wild.
Yeah.
That's sick, man.
That's a great toy.
Good one. This too, man. Dude,
I gotta see whose stuff is still available. I need to buy myself some heavy metal Hanukkah stuff.
Yeah, if anybody's piece is still available, you guys want to throw that in the chat.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, I did mention to the guys, if anybody has anything notable that they want to throw on here, more than welcome to.
Yeah, good.
That.
It says who owns that one. I do not know who owns that one, but they got a good one.
It was scooped up so fast.
Such a
I'm
cool
only
delivery
just
plan
catching
piece.
the chat. Jazz Wizard, you don't just give up your virginity for Christmas.
That was Fletch's piece. Killer.
I know. Isn't that great?
Death Metaltron, yeah.
Yeah, the guitar was a very nice touch on the back of that. So cool.
Yeah.
We love Fletch.
Yeah, dude, Fletch is a great dude. I really, for a good handful of reasons, have a lot of respect for that guy. He really went above and beyond for me. It's like I definitely was not able to make it to decon, and he put in a lot of footwork, and he gave me a really interesting milestone. It's like, you know, not so long ago, maybe just a few and a half years ago, I only ever wanted to visit a designer con, and it's very awesome to me that my stuff ended up there before I did. And it wouldn't have if Fletch didn't put in a lot of work. So shout out Fletch for making a cool piece for this show. Killer fucking head. And for just being an awesome dude all around.
Just a great supporter.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure, man. And that's what I like about this show, man. I mean, you have guys, dozens of shows, and you have somebody like, Fletch, who, I mean, only has a couple under his belt, right? Like not too many. Which I think is dope, man. I mean, fuck, when we get years down the line, right? We're gonna look back and like some of these guys are gonna blow up and be just like, total pillars in the community. You're gonna look back and be like, man, I wonder what some of his work looked like in his first couple shows, man. Well, fucking hey, here it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the first couple, that's hitting the ground running, in my opinion. I'm staring at one of my first TOYZ right now, and I'm just like, damn, that's crazy that you were even okay with putting that out there, Drew. But okay, that thing definitely never made it to any shows. But yeah, for an early piece, that's a really killer one.
You know what's awesome? I was going to say the other night when we were watching and I won that toy, and just like I continued to watch, like the giveaway is so fun. Like the show was so fun the other night.
Yeah, it was.
It's a great thing, man.
That is absolutely doing ways that night. That is absolutely going to be something that we do every single year. Dude, you have a nice box coming from me, man. You got that Muckoid in there, resort, topped off with a little Healy made magic, dude.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right.
Excited.
Dude, that's awesome.
Right. I know. Yeah. I was so happy. I feel like I got super beginner's luck because you put my name in and I won. So I think maybe the computer got confused.
The wheel doesn't know who needs it, man.
Yeah, Ed was telling me about that, and I was like, why don't I fucking get in on these giveaways? I never win shit like that. I want to get in on one.
I never win shit either.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a good one there.
I did. I was happy.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Thank
you. Rock, dude. Woo! Bob. Two-piece,
dude. Barbadrock killed it with that one. There's some pictures of it under like a black light that are epic. I remember when I read them up, I wanted to make sure to highlight that. Yeah, so cool. I don't know. I didn't ask him exactly what's going on there. If that's just a reaction to, if that's just a UV reactive piece or a glow. It looks like the head is a glow. It's hard to say, but yeah, dude. All the crevices and cracks and the way they react to different light, just fucking.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
A big fan.
Blue glow on the head. It almost looks like it's made out of lava. That's what I was saying the other night, is that it's got some sort of crazy UV.
Yeah, it looks molten.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm just reading the thing. It's mica exterior with glow in the dark and UV reactive resin. And then
So maybe he brushed the mica on. I'm trying to think about the way he did that. I like messing around with mica powders, but the fact that he was able to get resin to come through those mica powdered segments and cracks, like that's really cool. It must have been really fun to make that toy. Yeah, dude. So
Absolutely,
cool.
man. Yeah. So then the with that too, man. That's another fresh one.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad he went with the wizard. I was hoping someone was gonna do something stoner metal-y.
Yeah, I love that band, and that toy is great.
And then the D&D dice inside, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that cover. That's a great cover, man. That album that comes from is a great album.
Like if anything, I can almost picture this in like a old school, like stereotypical stoner's bedroom.
Yeah, it looks like something you might find at a record shop.
Yeah,
it
for
does.
sure.
It does.
Awesome.
And then of course Sycamore.
Mill just came through clutch day one with the heat.
Sick.
I know, sick.
Yeah, dude. I love that dude's style. He's got his own thing going on in a big way. It's great.
He makes me think of if Salvador Dali knew how to make toys.
Yeah, right. Well, like you were saying, Drew, hard to believe. Like you look at his site, man, and you see some of the shit that he has, and you're like, "Damn, bro, I'm surprised that's made out of resin." You know what I mean? Like some of those pieces don't out of resin, but they're resin, dude.
He pulls off a lot of resin.
Yeah, dude's got 13.6K for a reason. Like it's no fun. You know what I mean?
He deserves it. Yeah, he fucking there's pieces, and I know what you mean, Crumbs, with the Dali. Like there's certain pieces with these exaggerated big limbs and little heads, and sometimes I see videos where he's piecing his stuff together. He's like pulling casts and he's snapping pieces in, and just the way he even creates the joints and articulation is so satisfying when you're watching him snap them into place. It's great.
I love the blue horns.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
And the white spikes.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like that just sets it off.
Yeah, man.
Little minor different like details.
Yeah, it's fun.
Dude, look at the texture on the lower half too, man. I mean, it's clean.
Yep. Yeah, it's another thing I really like about that dude, and that's something I really like about a lot of art toys in general, whether it's resin or sofubi or like a straight up hard vinyl designer. I really like contrast. I love a mix of texture. I love when there's like smooth going on, and then one part of it's just whacked out and super fucking grainy, grody texture. And it seems like with almost all of his stuff, he executes this major contrast of texture that works very well.
Yeah, nice.
And speaking of like things that knock you out of the park, where the fuck did they, like, dude, this was stupid.
I bought one of them.
Didn't you get it?
Yeah, I got the Scareglow.
That was one of those things, dude. Rainbow Yawn's one of those dudes that when I got into this, it was actually Ed that was like, you got to check out Rainbow Yawn. And I did. And I was like, holy shit. So, fast forward 2022 to log on to Instagram one morning and see what he's done for my art show. It's very surreal to see heavy metal Hanukkah pieces from Rainbow Yawn, and they're just as I'd expect them to be, just so fucking cool.
Remember last week we were talking and I was like, I had trouble getting one of his toys, and so like, he's so popular. I kind of stopped looking like to see what was available, because every time I went there wasn't anything available, but I actually got that toy on the phone with you guys.
Which one did you get, Ed? The one with the clear crown?
The
Ice King, man. That one's dope, bro.
I know. I can't wait.
You know what? So check this out, man. I mean, let's put this into perspective, right? Like you take a look at some of his other stuff that's gone on eBay and you see what that stuff. I'd say you got a deal on that. You know what I mean? I know for that. I think that's a killer deal that you got.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't bad either.
Yeah, that's a great deal for what you bought it for, dude. That is a incredible piece, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
the we were talking a little bit, me and Ed, about one of his pieces. I don't know exactly what he called it. That I love the chainsaw penis. That's right up my alley, obviously. But there, I think it was the first set that he posted. The one third to the right. I was really interested. I'd almost like to ask him how he pulled off that extreme, like, gunmetal chrome finish. A lot of the times when I'm trying to attempt something like that, it's sometimes mica powder. It's so fucking shiny and perfect. I'd like to know how he pulled off that exact finish on that guy.
Yeah.
It's weird when you work with certain mica powders, like sometimes you get this cool chrome shine, but there's a strange thing that happens where if you add a varnish or a clear coat, sometimes it just takes it all away. You would expect that if you made a chrome piece and then added extra shiny to it, it would like make it shine. It cancels it out. I don't know. That's a hurdle I've never really inquired to get over. But yeah, that piece, aside from being so fucking killer, like started getting my wheels turned. I'm like, how's he doing that? I want to know how he's doing that.
This one time I made a really dope glow in the dark paint dab on a piece, and then like a moron, I sprayed it with UV protective gloss.
And what that do? Just
It
make it
canceled
matte
out the fucking UV reactive. It wouldn't allow it to penetrate over the clear coat to start charging up the fucking glow powder.
The bummer.
Oh.
Don't you hate that? You're just like you're adding your final touches to something you're so proud of, and you just trash it. The very last finishing touch, you just trash it.
Dude,
this came out last year.
bring up can we also just bring up the fact real quick that Rainbow Young just dropped 5 mega pieces for this show?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. It's just like it's very fucking surreal to me.
Like, bro, not even like not 2, not 3, not 4. Like, here's 5 of them. Here you go. And you know what, man? I don't think he really said shit about any of them. And I was blown away when I saw that, especially the second post. I'm like, dude, you got more? That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of talking. Like, I invited him to the show. He was like, awesome, thanks for having me. I'm gonna jump out of this group chat. Just email me if you need anything. And boom, 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 boom. Just fucking whipped it. It's just
putting
like,
in work. Monster Vat, dude, that is sick right there.
Right?
Yeah, he kills it. I love that dude's sculpts.
I love that they love going with the red resin with the chrome finish. It really ends up actually looking really fucking sharp under the light.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was a great idea.
Yeah.
So
nice toy.
Again, a lot of these artists kind of came out of nowhere, it feels like.
Yeah, you know, some of these dudes in this show I either knew existed or didn't quite yet. And thanks to Fletch, shout out Fletch again. You know, he hosted a bunch of artists' work that he liked at his decon booth, and that's how I got in touch with Monster Vat. I was really impressed with his stuff, and we had a couple leftover toys, and I was like, yeah, I mean, if you want to I'd love to bring something home from Designer Con if you could ask Monster Vat. And he was stoked to trade for the War Pig. I was stoked to trade for his pieces. He gave me the Dead Wing, and oh man, the name's escaping me. The piece, the skull with all the bumpies and the horns. I really
Bonehead.
Some stuff. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Love it.
Clean work, man.
Yeah, very clean.
Is most of his stuff 3D sculpted?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, we use the same program. Ed, I think you're familiar with the Nomad. I really like Nomad. I've never messed around on ZBrush, but from what I understand, They're almost completely on par to each other. Someone might be watching this that's like, no way, dude, fucking ZBrush, and they might be right. But yeah, dude, what you can do with a Nomad sculpt, you can do a whole fucking lot on there. I mean, and his stuff just goes to show it, most definitely.
And the printers have gotten so much more advanced than what we were seeing even like a year ago, man.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
Yes.
I have some mini war pigs. I had my sculpt sent off to my Sofubi guys, and I had a buddy in town print out a 2-inch war pig so that I could make mini resin ones. And it took a lot of polishing and clear coating to get it to a point where I could mold it and cast it without those lines. And that's one of the things I noticed immediately about Monster Vats pieces is like, I'm looking at one right now and you can barely, if at all, see any print lines. Like his stuff is so clean coming right out of the print. He makes it look like so much fun to just pull a cast right out of the print.
Well, I find a lot of the guys now at this point know how to texture it so that even if they are going to end up with like layer lines, they can kind of work that into the texture of the sculpt.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas before,
Yes, I
it's
was talking. Yes, I was talking to Toxic Fume and those guys at Decon, and they were telling me their little process.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's cool to watch it evolve, and it's cool to see dudes you know, get so highly around these learning curves of, you know, what those print lines once were and what they don't have to be. It's cool.
I love that Battlestar Scion.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah.
much. Is that available still?
I think it doesn't show sold yet.
You know what's funny, dude? Here, check this out, Ed. This is something that the very first piece that I bought from Eddie like 2 years ago, bro. I don't even remember, Ed. You threw in one and you said it was a toy that your son was working on, and it's red and black, and it's like super rough, dude. But it's that figure.
Yeah, that's one of the first ones I ever made.
Yeah, dude. That's dude. These came out so damn. Look at that paint work, dude.
He's good. I've seen a bunch of his stuff when I was in Kentucky in Dustin's store in person, and all of the painting on them are great.
Yeah, man. That blue and white is looking way crisp, dude. Look at the cape action on that.
So that's what is racking my brain. I'm curious what the heck the fabric on the capes are, and I'm curious
Yeah.
how fucking tall they are.
And
Yeah.
and the original toy doesn't have a cape, and it definitely doesn't have a waist cape. And that cape right there looks like it came off a Jewish person's dinner table. Like it looks like it's from a Hanukkah dinner table or something.
So Porpoise is actually saying he's going to make some vanilla heavy metal cyclones. And if anyone from the Toys Alive fam is interested in a Hanukkah edition, blue or chrome, let him know. He can pull something together.
Yes.
Yeah, that cape is red, dude.
Yes. Brett, yes. That's sick.
Dude, look at the menorah.
Yeah.
I know, bro. That's honestly, dude, I snagged that black and silver one. And for
You did.
forever, the menorah was what put it over the top for me. I saw the menorah and I'm just like, oh, dude, that's way sick. Yes. Look at that.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Mm.
And Porpoise says it's polypropylene fabric, same shit that reusable shopping bags are made of.
Oh, see?
Wow.
I really went on a hunt for cape materials.
I started holding on to random ass fabrics of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart.
Dude, there's so many different things, even that we've even talked about on the show, as far as material for capes. There is so many things out there that people are using.
Dude, old canvas backpacks,
Yeah.
old dress shirts, old
Sure.
fucking blankets and shit. Anything that might be kind of fun, interesting, arrays
Bro,
of fabric. Why not?
What about Trash Joy using chip bags, dude? Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude.
Ship bags?
Chip bags. Bags
No,
of yeah, you know how they're like shiny on the inside?
Yeah,
Like-
I didn't even think of that.
like Mylar.
Yeah, he had a couple that he made. It was some of those double-headed Vaders, right?
Yeah.
And they got those like chicharrones bag.
That's the word I was looking for. Chicharrona bags. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Man.
Fuck. And actually,
When
go ahead.
When I first started making, I had this thing in my head where like every cape had to be vinyl or plastic at least. Like, I don't know. I guess I was just trying to like match it with the toy, but over time, I just moved on to so many other materials.
I don't think you're alone in that. Like even Folklorian just mentioned beach balls is what he uses. I know that Killer Bootleg used to use
Interesting.
Old pool inflatables when they would rip or tear. He would just use those up
That's great.
because it's vinyl basically, right? Like waterproof
Yeah.
vinyl. I think a lot of the times when people don't want to go towards fabrics, and maybe I'm only speaking from myself, I get weirded out by fabrics because of how quickly dust gets caught into it. That's the only.
Yeah, it's something to consider from a collector standpoint. Even flocked toys, like I have a couple Frank Kozik flocked toys, and I got to keep them in these little plastic cubes, or otherwise dog hair and dust will just accumulate in such a way to where I can't make the toy perfect and new looking again. I really do enjoy flocked toys though.
Mm-hmm. And
this
the
was
work that goes
great.
into flocking it. Yeah,
I don't know much about that process, but I've seen videos of Rainbow Yawn doing it. It looks kind of satisfying.
Flocking?
Yeah.
It's a fucking mess.
Yeah, I bet. I've seen
it done before. Hurt is actually really good at it. He just do a lot of it because for real, dude, it's a fucking mess. But there's definitely a little bit of an art to it. But you're right, dude. That texture that it adds on there, thick.
He
That's
lit
funny.
it up.
I'm pretty impressed that like that's a lot of resin, dog.
Is this a resin menorah?
Is it not? This is the piece. Is it not? Is that not his piece for the
Yeah,
Hanukkah
that
show?
was his piece. That's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking of someone else's. That was a great idea. Yeah, I logged on to Instagram and I was laying down and I was like, oh, wow, look at that. He's really doing Hanukkah over there.
Like, am I crazy though? Like that.
Beautiful.
Okay, well now I feel like an idiot. That is the piece, right? Okay.
No, it was. There we go. That's what I was thinking of. It might be. That's something I didn't inquire though about if it was a resin menorah. Yeah, I remember it made these Simpson pieces, and the card backs were so fucking cool.
Megala Doom and Death Metal Edition.
I love the presentation.
Yep.
Beautiful card backers on those.
Yeah, they're great. It's that kind of stuff that's right up my alley when the card back and the toy is just one solid top to bottom piece of art. So what I really like about the dead piece you made, Ed, that's just right up my alley of top to bottom. I don't want to touch that thing. I want to hang it up.
The one I did for the show?
Yeah, I really like that one especially. I like the cutout and all. It was great.
Thanks. I didn't want to just do the little figure. I wanted to do a 3 3/4 also.
We'll make you pull it back up in a second here when we hop back to the group chat. We'll make you show it off.
There we go. We got pocket salsa. Yeah, dude. I was really that especially the etching on the back was such a nice touch. Like what an ominous. I wasn't even aware of this as a Jew myself, but that may a child be named after you soon. And I learned this actually from my mom before Gigi was born, or before we knew what she was. I was like, well, if she's a boy, she'll be Drew Jr. And my mom was like, geez, don't do that. And I didn't know why. No one ever explained it to me. But when I saw this piece from Pocket Salsa, it made sense. I think it's what they call a kinahera, which is like a bad omen. So when they say, may a child be named after you soon, that's basically like, I hope you fucking die. Like, so that
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a really cool touch. But he incorporated all aspects of what I really like about his and some. Like I didn't know, and he had mentioned to me and Ed were talking to me. He had mentioned that before he got into resin, he was good at some other stuff. So he throws some wood in there and makes this like top to bottom sick piece of art with the fucking black metal crying baby heads and the blood and the fucking the piece in the middle is an upside down baby Jesus. Throws in one of his mushrooms that, in my opinion, is like his staple, and yeah, he incorporated a lot about his stuff that I recognized him for and more, and things that I didn't even know he was good at. I was really thrilled with his piece. That's a piece that I'd love hanging up in my house. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, agreed, man. It's a dope one.
I like their work in general. I'm obsessed with this fucking mushroom one.
Yeah.
I like the simplicity of it, man.
I'm so glad my girl bought that tongue scraper by him. It was a sculpt. She didn't buy a resin one. She got a sculpt from him, and it's great. It's painted top to bottom. Love that dude's stuff.
Hey, real quick on that pocket salsa piece, he hit me up while we were on the air right now, and he said that we are allowed to give that piece away tonight as a thank you from him.
Great.
To
awesome.
Basically the community, man. So at any time, if we want to do a giveaway, Pocket Salsa is willing to give that away here tonight. Thank you.
Dude, thank you very much. That's an awesome win right there.
Yeah, that's an incredible piece, dude, to get it from this show. I mean, this is his first show, right? His first show piece. That's nuts.
I think so. Yeah, and I'd say if so, he definitely hit the ground running.
He's a cool dude, man. He came by here last week.
Yeah,
and then he sent me a bunch of comics for Christmas, dude. I was looking for these Night Stalker comics, and no shit, the dude found them in like one day. I was like, dude, are you serious? And they weren't expensive, but it was super nice to get a surprise box. I'm kind of a comic nut right now, so I've always been, but.
That's dope, man.
Pocket Sauce is a cool dude. Oh, Crumbs, you probably like this. He copped a can of boogers at Eddie's toy store.
Nice.
Yeah,
that is a good grab, man.
Yeah, I was saying it's cool because it's like I grew up in Jersey and Philly, and where Eddie's tattoo shops, like where I was young and came into fruition, and it's kind of cool full circle that where I'm at now in life and where I'm at geographically. It's cool that Pocket Salsa made his way back to a special place from when I was younger and copped the boogers. It was really cool to see him grab that from Ed and like in person.
I'm not gonna lie, Pocket commented on my post of boogers being like, I need to get one of those. In my head, I was like, well, fuck, like, I hope you can get one of those. The fact he ended up tracking one down to that fucking Resin Blood shop is hilarious, man. That's too perfect.
Yeah, I forgot that there was even one there. I'm glad that he got one, and I'm glad that he got one the way that he did. It's cool. Yeah, dude, he's a great dude. He's very generous and he's very enthusiastic and he's doing fucking great. And I was really excited to have him on my show. And I was excited to have him. Yeah, I was excited for people to see him because I think more people do need to see him. I think he's great.
And this is why the community is great, because you come right in and you don't get snubbed on. And
yes,
and that's why people love it, and I remember, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's killer. We were just talking about, I don't know if you were here for it yet or not, but I was just talking about that, like right when the show opened up, just how awesome it is to make friends in this community and, just curating a show and inviting some dudes I know and inviting some dudes I don't. And then by the end of the show, it's like you've made these cool friends that you share such a common interest and passion with. And it's an awesome way to, and I think we all can agree that, making adult friendships isn't always so easy in your adult life, but it's cool to convene over an art form and all have such like a mutual understanding of what means so much to one another. And it's cool that after this show ended, it's like, you know, we've all done each other the favor of, you know, viewing and expressing our likeness and showing each other's stuff to the world. It's awesome. I love it, top to bottom. It's fucking great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he did say it was his first show. So bam, there we go.
Awesome.
There you go.
There we go. Strafe 7. The
There he is.
diver dude brought the diver back.
Yeah, dude, I love it.
All one-off too, man. Like if you look closely at the blood on those, all different. You have the 2 gold Christmas. I don't know if anybody caught that. CHRSMUS Christmas. Chris is Strafe's name. Christmas, and it, yeah, dude, all sold out.
Yeah, I was about to say he just sold out.
Dope, man.
I'm always really impressed by those diver helmets.
Dope, man. Not too many people doing those.
I know. That's a great toy.
Yeah, the gold really capped. That's what made it look very metal to me. Was those gold straps and belt.
They almost don't even look handmade.
No, yeah, they don't. They look fucking fantastic.
Especially for the like uniformity. I know there are differences, but like not how to put it. Like this looks like something you'd see on a knockoff peg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's crazy, man, because they're so uniform but still so different, right?
In
And
like OG bootlegs, basically. You know?
Yeah, man.
Like when they're sitting there on the shelf and like they are all the same, but they're not all the same.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, there's something to be said about how rad that is and looks.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool dude too. We spent a lot of time together at the econ.
Yeah, man.
Funny
Yeah,
dude.
I was really excited to get. He's another dude that I've been following pretty much since the beginning of all of this, and it was exciting to get him on board for this, and exciting that, you know, when he did make those pieces, they were kind of like how I'd hoped they would be, like classic Strafe style. It's like that's what I always want to see from that dude, is stuff like that.
For sure, man. I think for me, dude, like that's probably the biggest draw for me. This show was the people in it. Like besides all the shit that was going to be made, like I was super stoked about this show before I saw anybody's pieces, just because of people that were in it, man. Like I think last week or the week before, man, that this show really does feel closer to home, and it sure does, dude. Because of Strafe, because of Tycho's Tacos, because of Pocket Salsa, you know what I mean? Like you don't see these guys in regular shows, and and I bet you see them in a few shows in 23. That's for damn sure.
Yes,
and I appreciate that you guys were into it also.
Yeah, it was exciting
it's dope.
that you guys wanted to cover it the way that you did. It added a whole nother level of excitement for me about it. It was cool to know that we'd get to recap on this stuff and actually take a deep dive live into these toys. And I feel like all of these artists and their work deserves that, to be really honed in on and put under a microscope in a good way, because it was just so, yeah, dude, everything, the diversity and just the really everybody's fucking impeccable craftsmanship with this shit. I'm glad that we get to really take a deep dive into it.
Yeah. Take a deep dive, no pun intended. Hey,
I was just about to say that. As soon as I look back down at my phone, I'm staring at fucking diver helmets. This is fucking great. Yeah, right?
This came out beautiful, man. I know how worried they were about it. It came out fantastic.
Yeah, dude, and he also was, you know, nose to the grind, you know, sculpt from the ground up, and we stayed in touch while he was making this, and he photo finished it and fucking killed it. Just another prime example of being given a short time allotted and really showing your work ethic with that time. He fucking he killed it with that thing.
I really do think too, the names you had on there almost pushed every artist on the bill to bring their A game. Like there was no like being able to fuck around, especially after some of the pieces that had dropped. It was like, okay, no.
Yeah. I didn't, and it's funny you mentioned, I didn't really think about that. When you look at that lineup and you're looking at everybody, you're like, well, I gotta make something fucking cool. It's like everybody on there. Fucking awesome.
Great show. I mean, once those first 2 days dropped, I think, everybody was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's what's funny, man. I think once those guys, the brave few that were on day one, kind of set the standard for what was going to go as far as the theme. And I think when that theme dropped, and then you heard some of the music, you're like, oh shit, okay, this is going to be a badass show right here.
Yeah, and even aside from the pieces, just the presentations, it's like mine was. I was excited to post. I had some pictures, but I was like, these aren't so exciting. But a buddy of mine I work with, Raul, is a great photographer. I used this. This stuff's a godsend. It's this UV curing super glue, which comes really in handy for mold making when you're trying to make vents. But anyway, it's got this little UV light on the end, and I happen to have it in my pocket. And we took these pictures of my toy just like in front of a window with some vines, and it gave it like a whole new life. And I was like, oh my God, thank God you're a fucking good photographer, dude, because you made my toy look more exciting. But, circling back, a lot of these artists, just the way they presented the toys, whether it be some kind of cool photography or like Baba Drock did with the glowing molten, and then some dudes made their own videos, like Pockets also threw together like a video with like a super heavy song, Rainbow Yawns videos. There was a couple others that had these really impressive videos, and it was so cool to watch that unfold, and the way the dudes presented the toys. It almost would have been fun. I was thinking about it. Like not everybody shared exactly what they were doing with me, but it would be cool from an outside perspective to have had no idea what anybody was dropping and then get to see it unfold. I was so wowed by it. It almost made me wish that I was purely and simply spectating and waiting for the next day.
Yeah. Well, this is a dope one right here, man.
Spice Dreams did a lot.
Yeah, Spice. I think it was it all 6 of those? I think it was at least 6 of those.
It looks like there's 6 right there. Yeah, he killed it on those dudes.
Yeah, the Carbonite Han lid, dude, that's something that I have not seen in that casket. I mean, there's a couple of those caskets out there right now. The Carbonite Han lid is something that I think is unique to Spice. But he's got the gem there. Cool, man. 3 static, I believe, on those.
There was a handful of like that one in particular. I'm looking at it, I'm like, what did he cast in there? There's like so much going on in that lid.
Yeah. You know what, dude? Yeah, that's what I like about those caskets, the resin caskets, is I think they make a great display for a 3.75. So in that right there, you're getting the figure and the display. You can do it laying down or standing up. I have a couple from Fletch that have up, and they make a sick little display. Lots of glitter in that one right there, man.
Yeah, that one was really cool. I think that's the one that I reposted to my story, but I'm looking at other ones like that one to the left there. There's so much going on next to this one. It's just like, what is in there? It's so much. It's so cool. It's a good point. I really do like the coffin displays. I love. I know I sound like a broken record with this shit, but when a toy maker makes a great figure with a great display, it's half the battle for me. Or as far as like making something that very much so appeals to me. just the way it, whether it be a header card or a card back or something way outside of the box, like a coffin box, is always exciting to me as a customer more than anything. It's like that's what I want to buy. I want to buy something that where the display is just as cool as the toy.
Absolutely. I mean, I was hoping I had this in hand's reach, and I do. But dude, I mean, let's just take a pause for coffins real quick, dude. On the wooden display one with the creature in it, man. That one's sick right there.
That was fun.
Yeah, you want to hear
the moss in there with the coyote bones? That's a dope display.
It was really fun, dude. It's always exciting to me when me and my girl can work on something together, because I got a schedule. It's like I'll give her the figure and then I come home from work and she's created a whole new life around it. It's awesome. Yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of embodies it. It's like, here's my work desk, here's her work desk. It's like we sometimes when we get a moment, which is a little few and far apart in between with, the baby on the way, and she can't really touch resin like that right now. But that was a fun thing, just it's fun. It's fun to get to work together on a project. And we were really excited about the way those particular figures and coffins came out.
Yeah, what's funny, speaking of coffins, so we were talking a couple weeks ago, and when I was on, and I ended up buying one of those Hoth Rebels off of Kerfloss.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then we were talking, and he sent me the molds.
Oh, rad.
And I'm about, this one still feels a little soft.
I was going to ask you what the fuck you were doing over there with the mold, man. As if that's what you're pulling.
That I can't wait to pull it out, but it feels a little soft yet. But here's the figure. Here's the first one I'm pulling out. I poured it like an hour ago.
Oh, cool. But first reveal.
And John, John is just the smartest dude. And he sent me a message like, "No, give me a call before you pour them." And I made a joke like, like, "Oh, sweet John." And then when I went to do it, I was like, "Oh shit, wait, I gotta talk to him." But yeah, here's the first one. Let me pull all the flash off. But yeah.
There it is, baby.
Dude, that red one that he did for Christmas with the red casket. Dude, and then,
that was sick.
Bro, he even put this sombrero punch out in the red resin. What a beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm so excited. I can't wait. You guys are going to see these in the morning because I'm going to make a couple of them. I can't wait.
Are you going to paint them? Or how are you going to paint them?
I don't know yet.
Do you have any of those airbrushes? The airbrushes with that you use for really tiny detail. I have one that I've never used.
No, I just use my regular stuff for detail.
Yeah, I pretty strictly use that Iwata Neo. I really like that. It's a very versatile brush.
I mean, I can't believe I'm making this toy. It's so awesome. I was like, cool. Dude. I said to him, John, because me and him are pretty tight. He sat at my booth at TCon last year in 21. So we became friends. Two very different people, but such a nice guy, such a smart dude, such a great artist, dude. In every way, he can draw and paint, and just the way how clean he works. But anyway, I was like, dude, do you mind if I bootleg it? Like, I bought one off him, and I was like, can I bootleg it? Do you care if I make a mold of it? And he was like, dude, I'll send you the molds. And I was like, cool. What? Yeah, okay.
I noticed he puts these little etches in the sides of those. Is that so that the rubber band tension can be like evenly distributed?
No, I just think that they're his connecting etches, when you put the lid on.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Like his keys or his registrations.
Yes.
It's interesting that they're like on the outside.
Yeah, agreed. That's interesting for sure.
And there's probably a very, very specific methodology behind that. If I were,
he probably has a reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can't think, like, normally you want them really close to the figure because of course you want like tight areas not to move or wiggle or like warp.
That's right. But
I'm thinking with that there, like it almost does want it to expand outward to get that coffin shape. Maybe that's why they're on the outside. Who fucking knows? Yeah, Kurt's got a special brain.
He sure
Yes,
does.
he does, dude. And even if you sit and have a meal with him, you know, you really get a version where you're like, oh fuck, you know.
I feel like every time we get on this show, we always dedicate at least a few minutes to complimenting Kerfloss's brain.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah,
It
that dude's something else, man.
kind of has to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we could pop, I'll pull back open to that share screen there. We'll look at that. I think there's just a couple more pieces left from the show. Take a look at, and then we still have to spin for that dope pocket salsa piece as well. This Angry Beast piece caught me by surprise, man.
Yeah, dude, I love it. I love what he did with the knit like beanie beard thing. Gave a very Jewish vibe, like a Russian Jew thing.
So that's resin?
Everything on you is resin. Yeah, the toy's resin, and then he knitted a little like beanie almost for it.
It's so cool, man.
Yeah, it's the diversity of the show. It's like it's a knit outfit for it. It's like that's so cool. It's little horns on there.
Look at them gold teeth.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I love. The fact that Angry Beast even mentioned like there's no paint on this. It's all resin. So it's like
really?
You had to put the gold powder into like the mold where the teeth are gonna go, and you had to put the glow in the dark fucking shit in the eyeballs. And then it still ended up being like a spotted with like a black, looks like there's like metal flakes in the black, or it's like a black sparkle resin.
That's dope. Is for what I'm working on. My next resin piece has these skull teeth, and I was thinking about making them silver or gold. I haven't considered maybe brushing in powder like that. Yeah, dude, I love that toy. That's right up my alley. Fucking cool.
Plus, they're bigger than the pictures let them. Like they are the size basically of a California raisin.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's
how big is that? Like how tall is that?
So it's like I don't know, about size next to a Bic, almost I don't know, almost a half inch smaller than a Bic lighter.
Wow.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Yeah.
Love the color of that one too.
Yep. Dude, that greeny black marble is sick as hell.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes with glow in the dark toys, you kind of like sacrifice the way it looks just in regular light so that you can accomplish that glow. But the way that thing looks in daylight is just as fucking cool. And the black, just the black splatter in there. That was a very nice execution of a glow in the dark toy.
Allowed Space Lab caught me off guard too, man.
Who I believe is coming from the Philippines. He had a show that he invited me to do. I don't really remember like the theme. It was a while ago, but we did something for him. I believe it was me and Hella and someone else, and we jumped on his show. I was driving around and I was just being all funny and waving guns around and doing stupid stuff. But yeah, he's done some really cool things in the Philippines with art. They had some kind of like police brutality problem, and he made a piece surrounding that idea. And I guess in the Philippines, that's kind of like a faux pas. Like not a lot of people make too many statements about police brutality, but he made a toy that made it all the way to like Philippine news. Like it was on the news. So he's made some waves in art and toys, like pretty in a relatively large way over there. But yeah, his piece for this show was fucking awesome.
You're saying like he made like a political piece and it got attention?
Got a lot of attention. Yeah, it ended up on like a local news channel.
Wow, that's cool.
I'd almost like to, man, I wish I could almost hit him up right now and ask what it was, but it was some kind of like don't shoot kind of piece. And yeah, dude, it ended up on the news. People are like, oh my God, a dude's making toys about this event, this unfair tragedy. And yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. And he was a pleasure to talk to. He was a very nice guy.
Beautiful.
I know it's not part of the heavy metal Hanukkah, but I mean, come on, that's a
Yeah, the
fucking
the
hilarious
bust
piece.
is awesome.
And fucking Art Attack, genius.
Yeah, look at that. That's great.
Pendragon killed it too. I
Yeah.
love this fucking Lego, dude. I don't know
Yeah.
why that was nuts.
So nuts. Yeah, there was a little talk about that on the group chat that everyone was just like, do you like bent all the spikes? And the crazy part, he was like, no. It's like, well, how do you get them all to come out so nice? Yeah, dude, he's something else, man. Pendragon, another dude that I've been following since the beginning. And yeah, dude, just top to bottom, fucking awesome. Always awesome.
He's like, everyone knows who he is and everyone loves him, but I feel like he's like the most underrated toy maker, dude.
Yeah,
he's definitely in my top 5.
Really interesting was that when I got in touch with him about this show, he was like, awesome, thanks. Like, no one ever invites me to do shows. And I'm like, really? Like, who the fuck wouldn't want you in their show? And yeah, maybe it's just people that are jealous or afraid,
intimidated
of being like, you know, having someone immaculate in their show. But yeah, I don't know. It was an honor to have Pendragon jump on the show the way he did. Another thing I thought was interesting is that he put these pieces up and said not for sale. And I was like, damn, you're just gonna hold on to these for your own personal collection? I love them. I want them.
Or gifts.
Yeah. I'd make a great gift.
You know what, man? And here's what I think, you know, for me, deal with Pendragon, I think the same thing that you're thinking, Drew, is that like, how come people want him? Just from what I've heard from being you know, a buyer over the last 2 years, was when I first started seeing Pendragon, I started asking, like, wow, man, this dude's shit is off the chain. Like, how is he getting that kind of stuff? And people are like, oh, well, he 3D printed all of his 3Ds. And for whatever reason, 2 years ago, you know, that just shows you how far 3D sculpting and printing has advanced in the last 2 years. And I think it's probably become a little bit more acceptable.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that narrative has changed for him over, like, you know, 2 years ago, people were saying, God, man, it's 3D printed and sculpted, to now being like, I feel like it's 3D printed and sculpted. So fucking what, dude? You know what I mean? He still did it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's other stuff that he is doing, like those. He has that little line of Mexican bootlegs, right? Where he's actually, isn't he pulling those crumbs? You may know a little bit more about that than I do. But
I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about Pendragon stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's, you know, that's where I think it comes from. I think his stuff is dope. I think, you know, not only his resin work and his 3D printed work, but his card back work, dude. Is,
forget it. Yep.
bro, it's, I
mean,
mean,
that right there, it's a piece of art.
Yep.
yeah, dude.
Yep.
He's been doing this thing lately, and I can't tell if they're just really, really highly detailed concepts that he is posting, or if they're things he's actually made. But he'll have like a piece on a pedestal. You might even see it on his page, and it's got like a very vague name, like very artsy. And yeah, he's like, he seems to be, yeah, there you go, something like that. He seems to be moving into this certain realm of art toy that a lot of dudes don't like dare to go, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's making certain statements with his pieces, and I'm very impressed by them.
Agreed 100%, dude. I love that piece right there. He's also got another one, right? That's like that, where it's a guy shooting a rifle.
Yeah, and the
barrel is curved around, pointing back at himself. Go ahead, Rumsey. I know you were going to say something there. My bad.
No, it reminds me of gothic green plastic tunnels.
Yeah, I could see that.
With that particular piece on the pedestal.
Yeah.
These I'm finding impressive as fuck. I really like Toxic Fumes toys though in general, but
me too.
Those stained glass pieces that they do with the Barts are fucking dope.
Yeah, what a nice touch. I don't even know if I'd call that a touch. That's like half the piece. That's so fucking cool. The Nosferatu-esque hands.
I really
Yeah,
like
park
green
lot.
plastic tunnels too.
Yeah.
And
Dope.
green plastic tunnels too.
Yeah, toxic fumes killed it with this one.
I know.
So-
Look at that thing, man.
That's dope, dude. I love that
It
shit.
sure is.
All corpse painted up like that. But I mean,
And,
you know, that's just on a whole nother level of Bart Simpson. The hands really did it for me.
Did you
Mhm.
talk to those guys at Decon B?
Who's that?
Toxic Fume and all them?
Toxic fumes wasn't at Decon as far.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Who am I thinking of? Fucking, what's his name? Next to me.
Next to you was
Not Epoxy Crusader, right?
Yeah, them. Yeah. Them.
Epoxy Crusader. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Him.
I'm sorry. I got people confused. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm embarrassed.
all good. Yeah, but Toxic Fumes, man, up there in Canada, that's part of that Toronto.
Right.
Dude, he's just got kick-ass stuff left and right. I mean, over and over, dude. That dude's a damn near legend. I mean, you might as well call him a legend as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
His incredible every time, dude. In that little conglomerate with Lab 9, Angry Beast, and himself, dude. It's just, I mean, killer work.
And that's another more 3D printers.
That's dope, man.
Fat,
I think Fat Dad's
Toys.
messaged me and said he was unfortunately unable to do the show. I saw him drop this today, though, and I wasn't sure if he dropped for the show or not, to be honest with you. He was real cool about it. He just had stuff going on.
Yeah, he actually made a comment in the room here a little bit earlier saying that he was having some pressure pop problems and was not able to make a piece. He was under, what was the name of that account? It's a different name, something salesman or something like that.
The Weatherman.
Weatherman, there you go. Weatherman salesman, I think.
Right.
Here we go. This was fantastic.
Oh, 6 foot turkey. Yeah, man, that is dope.
It was one of my
another dude
favorites.
I was very honored to have this dude be a part of this process. He fucking killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
That's the first thing I saw this morning. And I was like, fuck, man, look at that thing.
Yeah, man, he killed it. Absolutely killed it.
That
Yeah.
paint.
Is that
It looks like it's another one that doesn't look handmade.
Yep, just looks like something you'd buy right off a shelf, mass produced.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive.
The
head and
666 on the
hair.
chest there. Yeah.
Like they look like separate pieces.
There's so
Yeah,
many.
you're right.
Yeah, man.
I love the
So
hair.
good. I love it. Perfect color for the Iron Maiden Eddie body. It's great.
It's dope, man.
Yeah, some great text.
Now, was 6 foot turkey toys? I don't know if anybody remembers this, but I think he at one point was doing toy graffiti. Like he would, I think it was him. He'd like cast something almost reminiscent of Pocket Salsa's half like the Crybaby heads, but he would like go to like a street pole and he'd pour like a resin, like a face, and he'd pour arms and he'd stick them to the pole, and then he'd stick one of his stickers there. So it was like much more than a sticker slap. He'd slap up like a toy that looked like it was coming out of the pole. Yeah, there we go.
Here, yeah.
Love it, dude. Thought that was so cool the first time I saw that. I was like, what a move. And I remember that was when I got into making toys, and I was like, damn, that dude's just casting toys and he's not even selling them. He's just sticking them to poles. Like, thought it was cool.
It'd definitely be something to see in person.
I wonder if he's got those for sale. Yeah, that would be. I'd have trouble not ripping it off. I wouldn't do it to him, but I'd want to. Yeah, dude, Creature Maker's pieces were so fucking fire.
Yeah, he ended up releasing them a little bit early, so we were all drooling over them last week, I think, too.
Yeah, I woke up early.
How many did he do?
Like, good question. What was it? I don't remember how many he made of those. Those are great. I love the monotone, or the fucking black and white, gray. I think they're resin, if I'm not mistaken.
It looks like they're printed.
Dope.
Yeah, and that's another perfect example of what we were just touching on earlier, just with those prints and the advancements to where you're not just seeing a bunch of lines. Like, look how clean that is.
Yeah, the only places they're even seeing it is on the hair, and I think the only reason why you're seeing it is because of the waves of the hair. You don't see it on the breast. You don't see it on the wood here.
Well, you know what's so dope about that piece, dude? Like, take a look at it, and you like, for me, you start off, you know, just making your way from top to bottom, dude, and then just look at what we're looking at. I mean,
The pouring out entrails.
yeah, exactly. That's what exactly what I'm getting to, man. Is that like, holy shit? Like you start off, and then by the time you're at the end, you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, those aren't feet.
It's a perfect example of something that I look for in a toy. That contrast of the smooth nun robe hat thing that fades down into this gruesome texture. Absolutely love shit like that.
Yeah, very cool.
Something I really strived
cool.
for on the last vinyl that I made. I wanted it to have really crazy texture with some smooth, like perfect smooth stuff. I really admire that. I think it's impressive and it's just very aesthetically pleasing to me.
I've been seeing this. I've been seeing this Titty Bean toys all week, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it, dude. If I'm not mistaken, I think he sold out too.
Absolutely.
I'm not surprised.
No, me neither.
They were great.
Dude's killer. Another great example is someone I've been following since the beginning. That's just been nothing but an inspiration. He got a war pig. I thought that was really cool that he copped a war pig from Fletch.
Dude,
Titty Bean.
double.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say some black washed double cast is what we were talking about the day that those or I think we looked at them on the show last week or something like that. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say he has probably one of the biggest collections, and like nobody really talks about Titty Bean's collection because he doesn't post about it really, but his collection's insane.
Yeah.
I was considering getting that heavy metal Hanukkah dreidel tattooed on me somewhere. I think it's awesome.
There you go, man. If anything,
This was one of this. I love it. Love this Hellhammer piece.
Dope.
It's like it is the album cover, and the cool thing is that like the figure is the I don't know, man. That one just right up my alley. So cool. Yeah, there's the real album cover.
Yeah. You should see if that one's
I
available.
love that album. Hellhammer is very cool. Yeah, dude, Hurt Toys fucking killed it. Look at that thing. And that's, another funny thing. Me and Hurt barely talked. Like, like he was just, I'm in. And then boom, there's this.
Bro, me and Hurt, he's my best friend and we hardly talk. That dude doesn't.
Oh, really? Yeah,
but,
I remember you mentioning you guys are local to each other, right?
Yeah. We grew up with each other, man. I met that dude when I was like 13.
Oh, wow. Cool.
You know what, man? I've been at that dude's house probably 10 times since he started making that thing. And I did not even know what it looked like until yesterday. That shit's 100% hand sculpted wings, hand sculpted head, hand sculpted chest plate, hand sculpted base, which detaches and has a couple different. I have it here in hand.
Whoa. Really? Awesome.
Absolutely idea. Yes.
What a nice surprise.
Bro. This piece is
big it is.
Look at that.
It's a monster. It's a monster. And you know what, dude? So even though it's this big, right? You have the wings that are screwed onto the back. This thing's perfectly, dude. I could set this down and walk away and it would stand up. It would have no problem. You do have the dreidel shield.
Impressive.
Bro, the dreidel shield with the resin dripped in there. Also the resin dripped in the eyes and into the chest. And then 100 sculpt on the base as well. And then poured that resin in there. Look, there's a block of wood, honestly, that's like you see that, bam, block of wood, and then sculpted around it. I'm gonna turn the light off so you can see this in the black light, dude. It's off the hook.
It's so nuts. That's so crazy that he made that in such a proportion to where it just stands up. That'd be my fear of making something like that. How the fuck's it gonna stand?
Well, that's the first thing that I said when I saw it was like, bro, how's that gonna stand up, man? There's no way that's gonna stand.
And he was just like,
I'll put the
check it
camera on
out.
in a minute, dude. It stands like a champ.
I
And
love how he could have pulled wings from any of the gargoyles from the gargoyle toy line and said, "Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna sculpt my own."
Yeah,
Yes.
dude. Wow.
Sculpted his own, and actually there was a Spawn toy that he looked at just to kind of get an idea of how they made those wings, and that's what he went with. Now it did come with 2 guitars. One of them glows like a champ. Look at that.
Oh shit!
2 guitars.
The guitars
Yeah,
swap out for the hand, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Swap out for
Dude
that.
outdid himself.
Yeah,
I'll,
that's a nice toy.
Yes.
let me put
So cool.
Look at his collection in the background.
I know. I love B's setup. So
yeah,
cool.
so there's the 1 guitar, and then the 2
Look at that.
guitar. And
Wow.
he's also got the mace on there,
That thing's so cool.
which also
So
glows.
many accessories, and they're all fucking cool.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna set this down right now and just put the camera over so you can see. But check that out, dude. I mean,
Look at that. Hand sculpted wings, and they're incredibly detailed.
Incredible.
Yeah, dude, he killed it.
stands no problem. But I mean, you set it down,
Boom.
walk away.
Man, that's great. That's so cool. And it's funny, yeah, like you said, and like I was saying, it's like I had no idea what that dude was doing or his process. He just said, "I'm in," and then boom, that exists.
It's really crazy, man. I mean, the amount of work that he put into it. The head, I mean, damn, dude, he just said fuck it and sculpted a new head, and it does still have that Skull Crusher look to it. You know what I mean? You still have kind of, sort of the Skeletor face with the trap jaw on it, but it's all
Way
sculpted.
cooler.
Yeah,
Those horns
cooler,
make
man.
it badass as fuck.
Yeah.
super fucking cool.
But this is something like just like that in the base, man. That's gonna go in the case just like that, then just build pieces around it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I mean, the dude gave this to me for Christmas.
Wow. Merry Christmas
Wow.
to you, man.
Merry Christmas.
That's a
No
piece.
shit.
That's a special toy.
Blew my mind, man. Blew my mind.
Mine as well. Very
Outrageous.
stoked to have had that in Heavy Metal Hanukkah.
What a killer show, dude. And you know what? Hurt's first show, man. And I'm glad
Really?
Hurt show too. Yeah, and you know what, man? I was telling Crumbs earlier, bro, I don't own this piece. You know what I mean? Even though he gave it to me, I don't own this piece. This is Hurt's piece. I'll gladly hold it and display it for him. But I 100% do not feel like this is my piece. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that he lives 5 minutes away so he can come over and get it whenever he wants. I can take it back if something happens to it. But dude, that shit's just
Yeah, dude. That's
It's
on
crazy,
a whole
man.
nother level. Absolutely wild. 10 out of 10.
yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts. But again, his first show, I know it was super special to him because it was his first show. And I know he wanted to make a good showing, man. And it comes into play. I know that when we were first talking about it, I said, man, it looks like you're like the last one on the list. And he said, perfect. He said, I get to see what else is putting out and adjust accordingly. So I guess that would be one benefit of going last.
Yeah, and
You know,
that's something to think about for the years to come of heavy metal Hanukkahs. Just the way people may riff off of each other and inspire each other, the different directions people might want to go. And it's cool to have an 8-day show to where people can build inspiration from the show. It's fucking cool. Didn't even think about that.
I
Yeah,
feel like
agreed.
I feel like the game has changed so much in like the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Just like we,
exponentially.
yeah, just like we were saying about the 3D printing and everything. It was like, I feel like when I first came around, it was strictly figures, 3.75. And yeah, just like you said, people were bitching about the 3D printing and all that. And it just seems like it's loosening up and getting bigger.
Yeah, I had a talk with Dove a while ago, and I think it was like me expressing some interest in a DKE show. He was kind of telling me like more of the card back stuff's what he's into, but he kind of explained the spectrum of artists, and he said, there's two totally opposite ends. You got your dudes who will conceptualize something. They'll have someone sketch up their concept. They'll have someone else sculpt their concept, and then they'll have someone else produce their concept. And then there's the total other end of the spectrum, which is the dudes that build from the ground up, whether they are, and I guess this might fall somewhere in the middle, but maybe dudes that take parts and cast them. And then you have your dudes at the other end of the spectrum, and they're just totally doing everything by hand from beginning to end, whether they're sketching it and sculpting it and molding and casting it. And he was saying how some of those dudes like to talk a lot of shit on the dudes that don't do everything on their own. And ultimately what Dove was trying to say was, you're an artist on either end or anywhere in the middle of the spectrum. And I feel like as time elapses, that kind of rings more true. And, I think we all probably have our own opinions on that. But I don't think there's any argument that you're an artist when you do that stuff. And I feel like with the way this scene is just growing like at light speed, you're seeing a lot more examples of things that you wouldn't have even thought about in the first place when it comes to, how these concepts get brought to life. And I remember having that conversation with Dove because I was kind of trying to figure out who I was in this. And even since then, a lot has changed for me. But yeah, it's cool to see a lot of these people getting recognition and admiration for exactly what it is that they do. And as time goes on, I think I find myself greatly admiring people for what they do even more and more, no matter where it is on that spectrum that they fall. Just like Hertz sculpted that from the ground up. I mean, shit, dude, the dude from Doomco Designs, I think me and you were talking about this, Ed, the dude that makes these little tardigrade toys. Really interesting tidbit of information here, and I hope I'm giving the right information here, but I believe that, I know that he 3D sculpted those in VR. Like he put a headset on and took two controllers and sculpted that tardigrade in VR world and had it finished. And I know that it was the first toy to ever be produced or designed in virtual reality. But I also believe that it was the first product at all to be designed totally in virtual reality. And you look at that and you're like, that's art. It's sitting in my Sofubi case. It's art. And it was designed in VR world. It's like, who'd have thought fucking 10 years ago that anybody would ever be doing anything like that today? It's really interesting.
It is, and it's a good lead in to Thursday's show, right? We got Healy on the show, and I mean, I think that guy really has a pulse on the community as a whole, including ours. I've seen him in comments. I've seen him do likes on people that we're very, very familiar with. A lot of people that are even in this show. I've seen interviews with him before where he kind of talks about the ebb and flow of the community and how, you know, he's been around for the Boba Fett craze and the Star Wars craze and the Marvel craze and kind of seen it go in and out like that. So it'll be interesting to talk to him and see kind of where he thinks it's going. You know, what's the craze right now?
Yeah, I could see him having some
right now
insight
where it's going
in that regard, definitely.
Yeah.
Did we I'm sorry to interrupt. Did we scan past Hella's piece?
No.
For some reason I didn't pull it up. I was thinking that same thing. I know originally Hella sent me images, but for some reason, yeah, no, we missed Hella's as well. The Hanukkah goblin.
He made his
the dreidel. The dreidel, yeah.
He hit me up and he all he said was, in quotations, dreidel of filth. And I was like, yes. Because, you know, I didn't like I said, I didn't put any restraints. I didn't tell anybody you got to make some fucking Jewish Hanukkah metal piece. I just said run with metal. And he makes this toy. I thought the concept was so fantastic. Dreidel of filth, and it's just a fucking 4-point articulation, gruesome looking dreidel that you can actually play with as an action figure, or you can rip the arms off and play some good old Jewish games. I love it. His piece was definitely one of my favorite entries. I loved everybody's stuff, but for its own reason, Hella's was very funny and cool to me. I feel like Hella very much so. Same General Poipus, I loved his too with the menorah. But, you know, to capture the essence of heavy metal Hanukkah, I feel like Hella really hit the nail on the head with that one. Much better than I did, in my opinion. I just made a fucking Norwegian wooden man with matches, and he made an actual fucking heavy metal Hanukkah toy. Really enjoyed his piece.
The giveaway, Crumbs. I forgot about the giveaway.
Yeah. No, of course. Yeah, there's still a giveaway for sure. Yeah, no, Hello Radical definitely killed that. And before we forget with the evening, we have the Pocket Salsa giveaway to go. So pull that up now. Good old wheel. If anybody chiming in doesn't see themselves on the wheel, please chime in now. I'm going to also add in Drew and Resin Blood.
Oh man, I'd be stoked to win this.
Let's go. This is the best part.
Right? Remember, if you to hit up Pocket Salsa with your address, please. He has that piece with him.
Yeah, I think that was another good thing about this show, and I actually kind of like this about online shows, is that it's very inclusive, because technically, like, if you don't want to sell your piece, you don't have to sell your piece, but you're not paying an arm and a leg in shipping to try and get it to somebody's door to then sit potentially in their house for months.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the giveaways, man, it is a great way to cap all this off.
The Pocket Salsa says take him off. He's on there.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense, eh?
Of course, he would win his own piece.
Yeah, right? Be excited.
Oh, no, he's not on there.
No, I'm not seeing him on there.
No.
Cool. My brain did work today, for once.
Okay.
Come on. What is with this wheel? Stop. What the?
Peter Morin.
Kumo P.
Peter Morin, good job.
There we go, dude.
You want a good one. You want a little piece of history there. First heavy metal Hanukkah, first Pocket Salsa show, first Pocket Salsa giveaway.
Nice.
That's gonna be a funny place. Heck yeah, man. B, I know that you're rushing off. You've got some Monopoly to go there. I don't know if you gentlemen had some stuff to show. Drew, I know you've got a new Safubi that you potentially wanted to show off. And Eddie, I'd love to see that card cutout that you ended up doing for the Hanukkah show in person as well.
Yeah, I'd like to take a look at that too.
But B, man,
what do you want to do first?
Yeah, I am gonna jet out, man. I will definitely see you guys on Thursday, hopefully. Big show. Gonna start posting for that tomorrow. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Drew. Drew, it was a
Thanks, B.
spectacular show, man. That was we're
My
gonna back
pleasure.
on this dude and say this was a historic show for a lot of
Thank
people,
you.
including yourself. Very cool show. Thank you for coming on. As always, Eddie, talk to you later, my friend. Crumbs, thank you as always, brother. We will be talking.
Awesome. See you, B. Thanks for having me, man. Very
Absolutely.
honored to be on the show, and I really appreciate you guys covering it. What a crazy 8 days it's been.
Absolutely, man. Great show. Open invitation anytime you want to come back and talk, brother. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Very cool show.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
You want me to go first, Drew, or you want to go first?
I was gonna say rock, paper, scissors, but I don't think Wi-Fi is gonna let us do that the right way. You go first.
Yeah, Eddie, man, you look like you're on a mission, dude. Let's see this card back.
Okay, 1 second.
I hope you guys know with B gone, now it's just chaos.
Yeah.
Now we're about to really let loose.
Only
I didn't put the blister on all the way yet, but this is the toy. Okay,
like this.
so I'm gonna take this off.
That's a
So,
sticky
yeah.
backer. Hot damn.
Yeah, because it was bigger. It's bigger. So
Yeah, man, I fucking love
I'll
it.
sign the back, but it already sold. Thank
Oh
you.
fuck! Congratulations, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
killer.
It's really
I
nice.
love the reverse drips on the resin blood going upwards. It's very,
Yeah,
very
thank you.
black.
And this is the figure.
Yeah, those dudes are so cool.
Clean, man.
You know, I really do love Mayhem a lot. I have all their records, and I've been following this guy or this band for a while. So, you know, and this was the other one. You know, this is the header for the bag.
Awesome.
Oh shit, that's way fucking bigger than I expected.
Damn,
man.
look at that. I didn't even see that. It's got a ghost line around the letters. You don't see that on a lot of like black metal-esque stuff. It's like graffiti, black metal, and tattooy because it's got that ghost line. That's awesome.
Let me do the bag.
Oh, rad. Super cool. I love those
Really,
heads.
I like
I
this
think you
one.
got a cool thing going on with those heads.
Thank you. I'm trying, like I said a couple of weeks ago, I'm trying to sculpt a lot. And I just had the guy from Smooth On come by and give me a sample of this new wax called Alien Wax. So I'm going to try it this week. But yeah, some guy hit me up. I didn't recognize the name, but hit me up tonight, right when I posted it. So I really appreciate it. I really do. Because
Yeah,
you guys have.
There's
Yeah.
another exciting thing about this show is that I feel like we all gained a lot of new eyes and potentially followers from each other, pumping each other's stuff out. Yeah, I was posting up my one-off. I had a one-off piece for my own heavy metal Hanukkah entry, and as I'm writing the caption, it sold, and I didn't even recognize to who, and I was like, "Whoa, that's fucking cool." It's exciting to share that like common goal of letting our art meet new eyes, and we all do that very like what's the word I'm looking for lack of a better term, purely. It's not like we're fucking buying followers. It's like we're all making art and showing art, and
it's organic, authentic, and it's symbiotic, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why it's awesome. That's why it's awesome, because it's real.
Yeah, and that's so it's so cool that like, you know, beyond even the sales, it's like, well, I mean, you know, all that kind of it kind of snowballs into that, but it's really exciting that it's a beautiful thing to me that something like this, by the end of it, we've all helped each other progress as artists, and we've all let each other we've helped each other set new eyes on it, and I think that's awesome. I really
everybody
appreciate
make sure. Everybody make sure if you sell stuff, you make it to the mailbox.
That's right, because if you don't, you might just end up
Drowning.
The
in
social
a-
media blasting begins.
Yep.
That's the new world order, apparently. Yo, Eddie, you just pulled a purple coffin over there? What's going on?
Yeah,
man.
let's check that out.
You know?
I love how he made the little cutout where you
Me
hang
too.
the toy up where the eyes
Me
are.
too.
That was a really nice touch.
I mean, dude, to be honest with you guys, I never had anybody send me molds, so this is really fun for me.
No, me
Making
neither.
some-
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
exciting to use somebody else's molds and see all the ins and outs. I don't really even see how with a Kerr floss mold there would be any out. So it'd probably all be totally fun and fine and clean.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like if I
awesome.
had to send someone one of my molds, I'd have to teach them how to use it. Like that, I'd have to
And-
be like, don't do this.
And I'm not going to social media bash, but the person we're talking about who can't find a mailbox, I think he has some of our buddy John's molds and hasn't returned them. But whatever, he sent me this one, so I'll be sure to make sure it gets back to him. But
He's ironically probably very close to mailboxes constantly.
yeah,
That's all I'll say about that.
Life can be interesting sometimes. And
Yep.
Kerr Floss is an incredibly generous individual. I think it's insane the amount of artists who have had the opportunity to work with their molds. Not just with that figure, but like even with the number 2 figure. I know
Yep.
several artists ended up getting the molds for those as well. That's wild to me, man. Like we all know that silicone's not cheap. The fact that like he whipped those up to send to people to make some toys. That's
it's
dope.
cool as shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also they're probably not cheap to send because they're kind of, that box was heavy.
Heavy. Yeah, heavy.
Yeah, sometimes you work up a mold and you're really stoked that you worked up the one that you did because it works so well. It's like not every time you mold the same thing twice does that mold come out just the way you want to. So to send someone out a mold, it's like it is on that level a very generous thing too. You're making something that you know functions well, you're sending it off, and you might make another one for yourself, and there might be an imperfection, and that could cost you money. It's a really cool thing that he sends his molds out like that for a handful of reasons, and that one as well. He's sending out good ones that work, and yeah, that's time and money right there. But I think just like, I'm gonna be sending out. I started this project that I kind of put on the back burner because of this heavy metal Hanukkah show that I did on a whim. I made this fun flyer. It's me naked in the desert with a shotgun in front of myself, and I was trying to do like a Uncle Sam style, like Plague Earth Productions wants you to paint a war pig. But yeah, like it's exciting I'm going to send them out to a handful of people. I'm going to do that now that the show's over. But yeah, it's exciting to see. Like, I understand why Kerf does that and why it's exciting for him. It's exciting to see other people put their spin on your work. And I think we might have touched on it last show, or maybe it was me and Eddie live, but a certain artist blocked me because I painted one of his toys, and I had no idea that he would take any kind of offense to it. But I found it interesting, a little strange, and at the same time, I'll respect it. It's like, had I known, I would not have. But yeah, I found it interesting that that's something that was off-putting to him, because for me, it's like doing what Kerf's doing and doing what I want to do with the War Pig project, where I send it out to a handful of people and see what they do with it, is very exciting to me. And it's also like somewhat of an honor to know that people like my figure enough to put their spin on it.
Well, yeah, in Safumi, it's also like a very common practice. It's how you like build collaborations with other artists. It's how you end up like building camaraderie with members of the community who maybe like they're really, really good at painting, but they're not in a fiscal position to currently get pulls done from a factory. Like, it's actually helps people participate more in the scene when you do share that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. And you know, yeah, like I see that happening a lot. I see a lot of people buying blanks. I believe it was a Mark Nagata piece that was up on there's this site Gallery F. There's a gallery in Chicago. They actually carried the Powdered Piss Man, and they not too long ago finally sold out of it. But they had this like crazy like 2.5 or 3 foot Mark Nagata blank, and if I'm not mistaken, he was like encouraging people to go ahead and pay. It's just a total white blank. But yeah, in my mind's eye, I'm like, why would you sell painted figures and blanks if you're not expecting that somebody, like, I don't know, maybe might paint it? That's just me though. You know, it could be a cultural thing. It could just be something. But yeah, a buddy of mine warned me. They were like, oh, be careful. They don't like that. And I was like, really? And they were right. But yeah, I don't know. I can only really speak for myself when I say that I enjoy that kind of stuff. And circling back, I find it very cool that Kerf enjoys it so much that he will not only send you a piece to paint, but he'll send you a mold to cast. Like that's so fucking cool. It must be really fun to be hanging out there and playing with his mold.
Yeah, it's neat for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I never did that before, so let's see the toy.
Yeah, let's check out. I wanted to wait until the show ended so the show could get all the attention that it deserved. But I just dropped the first like in-depth look at the Sliz Destroyer. So we will show that here now. Let me flip this around. Yeah, like I was saying on the last show, it's like I have blanks. I normally release the blanks first, but I'm not doing that this time. This is the first official colorway of the Sliz Destroyer. I had it rotocasted. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, I had it rotocasted in clear red vinyl. So what I did was I just I did a fade down from like a hard chrome red. Let me see if I can put this under a light. Yeah, it's not the best light. Yeah, it's like a hard chrome red that fades down to just the raw red vinyl. And I really like that because, you know, when you do clear vinyl, sometimes depending on your sculpt, it can really show off the detail. Sometimes not so much. It really just depends on what kind of textures you're working with. But I tried to capture that essence of like smooth, like I wanted that contrast. So I kept like a smooth head with that tiny little cloned head on top. But then you get down to the body and you flip it around and you start catching these crazy textures. Back is almost just like this bat dragon double head thing going on. And that's actually the part line. It separates here, like at the each mouth.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'll take apart one of these.
Place, man. Holy
this
shit.
This is one of the blanks.
Did you decide to socket it there? Did somebody suggest you socket it there?
It's like a bit of a collaborative effort. Like I'll sculpt the whole thing up and then I'll go back and forth with my dudes overseas and we'll kind of decide together where the part line is going to be. And with my first vinyl, I left that completely up to them. With my next couple, it was a bit more of like, can this go here? Will this work here? How will we cut this? This one, I wanted it to separate at the head. So they then kind of, we go back and forth and we'll send each other like very rudimentary sketches, like it'll be the 3D sculpt. And you'll have them, you know, I'll either demonstrate a line like, should it be here? Should it be here? And then they'll make a more detailed one to show me exactly where it's going to be. But I really like this one because it really, you know, it's on there. It's not coming off, but it's very easy to pop that head off. And separated from the sculpt, like once it becomes vinyl, it almost reminds me of like its Predator helmet or something like that.
Yeah.
And the inside on each end is pretty deep. I got the logo stamped on the bottom there. And yeah, man, not to like toot my own horn too much, but I was very proud of this. I took my time on this, and I really, you know, my sofubi thus far has been these weird creatures, and this was my first like humanoid, aside from its 4 legs. But yeah, it's my first humanoid design. And you know, I believe it or not, a handful of people asked me. I'm just gonna check it up. I think I just broke one on my new cast.
I'm so sorry, dude.
Oh no, that's okay. I got new resins coming soon. I yeah, I had a couple people inquire, and they were like, "What are you gonna make like Sliz Sofubi?" This is a little sneak peek of a resin piece I'm working on real quick, but yeah, I was like, yeah, I am, and this is my first, and that's kind of been one of my themes for a while. For anybody listening that might be interested, it was actually this Liz thing. I don't know if anybody's ever scratching their head about that or not, but that's actually like a 12-year-old inside joke between me and Ed. We used to, you know, if someone was like, "What are you doing tonight?" We'd just be like, "We're going out and trolling for some tight sliz. What the fuck are you doing?" It's like a really disgusting way to be like, "I'm gonna go like try to meet chicks." But
we were young.
What'd you say?
We were young.
We were young. Jeez, I was like 20. But yeah, it stuck. And when I started making toys, I saw what people were doing with Star Wars, and I saw what people were doing with, like, you know, the stuff that we see a lot of. And I'm not saying that for better or worse by any means. There's a lot of pieces I own that are, you know, Star Wars themed or He-Man themed, or just used as a base. Like I love, you know, this super pimped out R2D2, but I wanted to go against the grain. And one artist that I'm not going to drop the name of at the moment, but he hit me up, and he was one of the big time dudes, and you know, like staple of the toy, the, you know, indie toy world. He hit me up and wanted to collab, and was like, "I just think it's so fucking cool that you skipped over all like the Star Wars shit, and you're making your stuff like completely based on its own merit." And I don't like often seek out validation from people when it comes to making what I'm making, but to hear it from somebody that's been in the game for a while, I was like, awesome. I've only ever wanted to make stuff like that. But the Sliz thing, it was kind of my way to like combat the norm of what I thought the toy scene was, the indie toy scene. I was like, I want to make my own disgusting fucking universe of weird creatures, and have this weird hierarchy of, you know, the Sliz Hunter and the Sliz Lord. Eddie made one a while ago that I thought was funny. We did this little kind of collaborative vision, 2 pieces that kind of like had a similar storyline. But I thought, yeah, the Sliz Lord. I have one carded right here.
Now we have one.
And it's cool. It's on the back. The back side has imagery of the Sliz Hunter, which is right there. Uh-huh. But yeah, you know, I took it and I going with it because I wanted it to be like one of my staples, like the Sliz universe. All the Sliz toys have a weird backstory, but they all have one thing in common. It's like these intergalactic, sexually rage-fueled, strange beings. And it's just really cool and really fun to know that at this point in time, I feel like my best work in vinyl form especially is the Sliz Destroyer. And here, you know, while I'm at it, I have I can show you the header card. It's got like a big super death metal logo, a little illustration of the Sliz Destroyer. Back of the card I'll just show for a sec, little inappropriate, but yeah, I called it the soft vinyl Pussy Plunderer. And there's a couple more things. I have stickers on the way that'll come with the toy that unfortunately I can't show the sticker on social media because I will probably get flagged and maybe deleted for it. Crumbs, I'll send you, I think I sent one to Eddie, but I'll send you a picture of the sticker. I love it. I'm really bummed out that I can't show it. I don't know. Maybe you can give me some input on if you think it might survive on social media. But yeah, dude, it's yeah, I feel like it's some of my best work, and I'm just so stoked that this year ends with like such a cool, like this art show just blossomed into this such a fucking awesome thing. It was just this rad 8-day art show, and this year, like quite literally on the 30th is when the Sliz Destroyer will drop in its original colorway. And yeah, then it's the 31st, and then 2023 starts. So I got to end this year with a great Hanukkah and Christmas with my family, and fucking a sick art show with, you know, one of my best friends and a handful of other great, well, more than a couple handfuls of great artists. I got you guys covering it. And I get to release my, you know, my Sliz Destroyer vinyl pretty much second to last day of the year. So it's fucking been great. I'll show you guys this real quick. This is the only one of its kind. It might be up for sale, but this is like a 7-inch resin copy.
Oh, jeez Louise.
It's a big boy.
It's a resin?
Yeah, this is a resin print. And it's it's just a gigantic Sliz Destroyer that I painted up.
But they sent that to you, right?
Yeah, they sent this. We were originally going to make the toy bigger. We decided to go a little bit smaller, but I was pretty stoked that they still sent me this print. Those guys are awesome.
It sounds like a toy in your hand.
Yeah, it's very fucking enormous. I got another smaller resin print that demonstrates the cut line too. They sent me a couple things. But yeah, man, Sliz Destroyer set to release December 30th. Sick card header style, fucking getting fumbling over my words here. Yeah, rad header card, really awesome stickers that I guess you'll only get to see if you buy the toy. But yeah, I'm very excited. Appreciate you letting me show that. I didn't want to really show it in depth until I dropped the first look, but yeah, for anybody still looking or watching the show right now, the first in-depth look of the Sliz Destroyer is available on the Plagued Earth page. So definitely check that out. Wanted to wait till the show ended to bust that one out. And yeah, unfortunately with the you know, I got shit going on with my kid about to be born. Unfortunately, my girl's got COVID. I'm pretty sure that means I'll have COVID soon too. Yeah. But I did it one time. It sucked. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. But I wanted to, by the end of tonight, have a recap video of everyone's pieces. And I will definitely still, I'm off tomorrow, so I love editing videos. So I'm sure I'll have a video thrown together for it. But yeah, if anybody wants to keep an eye out for it, there should be a pretty sick recap video of Heavy Metal Hanukkah 2022. And yeah, I would definitely expect and mark down on the first day of Hanukkah next year that Heavy Metal Hanukkah 2023 will most likely be in the books. I think it's something I'd like to do every year. It was so much fun. I'm really honored. I'd like to say that everybody took part, everybody that did take part in that show. Even the people that wanted to but just couldn't squeeze it in. I really appreciate everybody's effort, input, dedication, and just pure fucking talent. It was so cool to curate that show and see what everyone did. It made this the coolest Hanukkah I've ever had. So to everybody watching, if you participated, thank you so much. It was truly an honor to work with everybody and to see what everybody had to offer. So thank you again.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. I think you did a fantastic show, man. I think definitely people enjoyed that.
You know, Drew's a bit younger than me, and he worked for me when we were younger. And it's been fun watching him. Such a criminal and a satanic toy maker. So You know.
Yeah, you know, I've always said it's you cannot yank a oh, here I am. You can't yank a fake compliment out of Ed. And when we started making toys, when he started and then I started, it yeah, dude, it meant a lot when you were like, it's really cool to see what you're doing and your stuff is cool. Because I know that you don't fucking say that shit to people to make them feel good. That's not your style. You'd be very on the contrary to give somebody a fake compliment. But yeah, I mean, if anybody's fucking seen me not only grow as an artist but a person at all, it's Ed. Ed's known me for a very long time, and it's
Well,
funny.
you did a good job on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, man, it was awesome. I didn't know if everybody was even gonna go for it, but yeah, dude, this was fun. This was a lot of fun, and yeah, I really appreciate you being a part of it. Fucking loved what you did. I think the two pieces were epic. Honestly, the two pieces that you put in are like two of my very favorite things that you do. Is your pieces that are black metal inspired or just metal inspired, and your sculpts. I've always been a really big fan of Ed's sculpt. When he made that Wompbot, I was blown away by it. The tank treads were so fucking killer. I can't wait to see what happens with your speed skull, man. I have full confidence that that is just gonna that's gonna soar. That's gonna do great. But yeah, dude, I appreciate you putting both of those pieces in the show. Those are two elements of what you do with toys that I love the most. So I think you fucking hit the nail on the head.
Danke.
Fucking
Well,
awesome.
cool.
Thank you so much, gents, for coming in. I will definitely let you guys get on with your evening. I appreciate you sticking around, hanging out while I went over those pieces, filling us with a bit. Is there anything else that you want to kind of let us know before I let you go, Resin Blood?
No, thank you so much, Drums.
No, thank you, man. Always a pleasure. Absolute pleasure. You guys are fucking bosses at this. I will let you get on with your evenings then.
I appreciate you, Proms. Thanks again, guys.
See you
No,
guys soon.
thank you. Have a great rest of your night, man, and best of luck with everything, dude. Definitely keep us all in the loop of what's going on.
Awesome. Will do. Catch you later.
Take care, man. Peace. And there wraps up one of the weirdest potentially toys alive, because it's on a Monday TOYZ day. I appreciate any of you guys ended up joining in. I know that it is actually like the day after Christmas. If any of you are celebrating Christmas, I really appreciate you ended up coming in and hanging out. B to the J, man, always a pleasure. I'm sure we will catch up very shortly. I hope you end up dominating at Monopoly. Resin Blood, Plague Earth Productions. Thank you so much, guys. I know that you're both dealing with a lot of craziness. You're probably both exhausted from all the holiday. Drew, I can absolutely promise you that if your partner has COVID, you're getting it too. We are rocking COVID over here, man. I'm glad you guys didn't call me out on the big old bags under the eyes. The show was fantastic. The heavy metal Hanukkah show was fantastic. The submissions for it were all absolutely insane. The artists absolutely killed it. Definitely keep in mind too, guys, this is what happens when like you reach out to some artists, because I know that sometimes these artists feel as though that nobody reaches out to them for shows. Drew even actually mentioned that Pendragon feels like nobody really reaches out to them for shows. Every now and then, if you just reach out when you're doing a show, people are down to do it. Pocket Salsa, dude. You have no idea how much I think Cool Mo P is going to love that piece. They are my neighbor. And I know they're going to absolutely love that piece. And if they don't, I'm going to fucking break into their house and take it. Everybody, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out. Lovely Monday with you guys. And we will catch you all on Thursday. And keep your eyes peeled on the TOYZ Live page for any of the fun news coming up throughout the rest of the week. Oh.